The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
Good morning, pop culture. We are live. It is Wednesday, May 15th, 2019. It's 8:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's time to start everybody's favorite morning show, Good Morning Pop Culture. So, folks, I had the high council last night. I did have the high ground, and indeed we won because we got our 1,000 plus thumbs up. I think it was close to 1,400, maybe 1,500 where we are now. So a lot of you really wanted Good Morning Pop Culture. So let's take that excitement from the high council last night, ignore the fact that I only had 4 hours of sleep, and let's bring the excitement level to an all-time high here on the channel. Now, as you've heard, excuse me, as you can hear, I don't sound too good, no. But as you've heard, tomorrow night, I will be joined by Ethan, Jeremy, and Nerdrotic, and we'll be having a big, important live stream with Bounding Into Comics, the official Bounding Into Comics. So if you guys want something riveting, Thursday night here on this channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the place to be. You can't miss out. You don't want to miss out because Ethan and Jeremy, cleared their schedules for this. This is a big deal to them. Nerdrotic's excited to be involved too, and I'm excited because at my core, I'm a comic book guy. I love to talk about the movies, read the books when they're good, get the collectibles, all sorts of shit. So Bounding Into Comics does incredible work that we all talk about. And it's very important for us and them that they have a voice that can reach wider spread audiences here on YouTube. So good morning to everybody. Let's see. Wow, I got a lot of people here already. So, yes, I'm enjoying a good thumbing. Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you, Action Figure Expert, for quoting Back to the Future. Good morning to Billy Ritchie. Hello, Richard. What up, Keith G. Sklar? There's Etep Pakuyan. And then our buddy Logan Michael says, my comic book store got in 200 pops. Sad face. Well, it is a sad day. My local GameStop, which I was at yesterday, got in new Funko Pops. And I just went, huh. And they're $11.99 a piece. I thought they were $7.99 for a while. They were trying to sell them, and I guess they sold the old stock. They got the new, and they've jacked up the prices. But GameStop does take pre-orders on action figures. So I got the next, well, not the whole wave, but partial wave of Marvel Legends coming. So if you're out there and you're like, hey, you got the new Avengers wave? I did, minus the Avengers from the movie, just the comic books. So Logan Michael, I'm sorry that your local store got 200 pops. Now, I will say this from an understanding standpoint. I do realize why your comic book store collects or buys the Funko Pops to sell, because it keeps them in business. Much like Game of Thrones, just because I'm not into it doesn't mean other people aren't. Now, unlike Game of Thrones, which is not a problem overall, Funko Pops are, because they're the homogenization of popular culture. They're the Big Bang Theory of geek collectibles. They have no identity. They're uniform. They're faceless. They're shoved in the same box. And the only thing that differentiates them is a little bit of paint and whatever's printed on the front of that box. So I don't love them. If it keeps your business going, cool, more power to you. But for me, no. So what do I think of Feora from Man of Steel? For me, she's the hottest DC on-screen villainess of all time, says Random Nerd of Doom. Hottest of all time. I'm a little partial to Ursa from Superman 2, but, that was just like 1980s. What is her name? Something? Elena? No, I don't remember her name exactly. But Feora's good looking. Villainous. I guess Harley Quinn, technically, because Margot Robbie is Margot Robbie, and wow. That's not a bad choice. She was not a bad character. I think she was less memorable than Ursa. Because then you had Ursa, Zod, and Nod, Ursa, Nod, and Zod. And, those were really fun characters that really stuck with us. I think that also is a reflection of where we are in pop culture. When you have all these big tentpole franchises come out like every other week, which it feels like, We haven't had an episode of Good Morning Pop Culture since the Avengers, so if you guys have questions about that movie, please ask them. I would love to talk about it. But you have Avengers, now you have Pikachu, now you got John Wick, Godzilla, all kinds of shit's coming. So people don't have time to think about it. It's never what I just watched. It's about the next big franchise, and I just consume it all. It's like it's fast food at this point. You know, you just eat, and you don't really think about it. Let's see. Metalhead Zaki says, "Hey Jeff, what are your thoughts on Endgame? Were you disappointed that our heroes were humiliated for the sake of putting up the female heroes?" Well, Metalhead Zaki, I wasn't disappointed with that per se. I don't think our heroes were humiliated for the sake of putting up female heroes. To me, the female hero scene felt like an afterthought. It felt like it was added on, which I've heard a rumor that it was a reshoot. I don't have any confirmation, so until I see an article, I won't be putting that information out in a video. I do feel that a lot of Marvel superheroes, especially Spider-Man, are sacrificed for jokes more so than the female heroes. In Avengers Infinity War, the female characters had a moment, she's not alone or whatever, and they fight, the lady from Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, and Scarlett Johansson. I like that scene because I like those characters, and it didn't feel forced. It felt natural. You're sitting there, you're watching it. I don't look at the character like Scarlet Witch or Black Widow and think, oh, it's a female empowerment movement. No, they're just really good characters. I do think they took away, excuse me, you would talk about taking away from the characters. Scarlet Witch, when she met the second Thanos, and she's like, whatever. She said something about wanting to kill him, and he's like, I don't even know you. See, those types of moments, I don't know. I didn't like the movie as much. I don't dislike the movie. I need to watch it again. But the farther I get away from it, the less into it I am, and the more nostalgic I'm getting for the first phase of the MCU, especially the first Avengers and the first Iron Man. Every once in a while, I hear that song "Live to Rise" on my phone from the first Avengers movie with Soundgarden. Well, it's Chris Cornell. I don't know if it's officially Soundgarden. But I kind of think back to that era and when it was kind of bright and we had no clue where it was going to go, and I was excited because I liked the establishing of the universe. Now we're in a situation where we don't know where we're going outside of Spider-Man, and I don't want to sound negative, but I'm not as excited. We know Iron Man's dead. We know Captain America has really had the best ending of any superhero. He got to live the life he wanted and be heroic. So he got everything he wanted. What's that line from Willy Wonka? Have you heard about the boy who had everything he wanted? He lived happily ever after. So Captain America got that, and I thought that was damn cool. But in terms of Endgame, I have more problems with than Infinity War, and I want to watch it again. And I need to let it, I need to decompress from it. To me, that's a movie that it's so big and so grandiose, and not everything's right about it, but I'm not gonna whatever. Geek Talk Society says, been here since you were at 5K subs. Look at you now. Well, the Geek Talk Society, thank you very much for sticking with us. That means you've been with us since 2017. So well over 2 years at this point, because when The Last Jedi came out, we were close to 7, maybe. And then we hit 10 on December 27th, 2017. And then we hit 100,000 on February 15th, 2019. So there are certain red letter dates in the history of this channel I remember. Like we started on October 21st, my birthday, 2015, Back to the Future Part 2 day. So the future is then, and that's when our show started. So Geek Talk Society, thank you very much. And thank you for all the nice likes on the Instagram artwork. I appreciate that. That's just random stuff I throw up for my sketchbook, but it's nice that people check it out. It's funny, some of the stuff that I don't even think is worth a damn gets the most likes. I'm not really a social media guy outside of what needs to be done for the channel. And if you're one of the people that I'm friends with on Facebook, you'll see that I post, like, my icon is like Cyclops from the X-Men and stuff like that. So I'm not the biggest social media guy. If you consider YouTube social media, then I am, because, this is my life, which I'm happy and thankful for. But yeah, Geek Talk Society, thank you for sticking with us for so long. It's been a journey, and we're only getting better. We'll be at 120,000 probably next week because I got all this new content coming out. And we'll have a little subscriber special, a thank you episode of World Class Bullshitters. And, we're going to soon pass Ethan and then Jeremy, and then we're going to take over the whole world. But the High Council will remain strong. The Fandom Menace will remain strong. I'm shooting for, I don't know, conservatively 500 million subscribers. I mean, that can be done, right? It's me. I can make anything happen. Let's see. If you built a sex robot of any actress, which actress would you choose to model your robot after? Ooh. Well, I mean, if I'm building it, I can take the best assets from each one. But I'll give you a solid answer. Christina Hendricks. Logan Michael, Anti-Funko Pop, says, what's a toy line you would erase from history? Ooh, okay. I mean, I want to say Funko Pops, but I don't want to reiterate the same point. Disney Infinity, excuse the noise, sorry, it's just a busy street that I live on. Disney Infinity, well, that did fail. I don't want to say Star Wars toys because I have such great memory. I mean, I can make Star Wars videos, and I am depressed where it is, but if you would have talked to me, God, like 23 years ago when I first got into it, Star Wars was my life. I actually got a book for us. We're going to play a Star Wars trivia game on the channel. Maybe not today, maybe today if I can find where I set it down. It's in my office somewhere. We might. It's like the official Rebel Alliance entrance test or some shit like that. So that could be some fun. But no, to answer your question directly, toy line I would erase from history probably. God, that's so hard. Because if I pick something stupid like Big Jim, I might, take away somebody's childhood. So if I'm going to pick something like that, Pogs considered toys, right? Pogs sucked. I lived through those. They were just cardboard discs, and you'd stack them and then use a plastic one to hit, and whatever face down you kept, and the other ones went to your friend or something. It was dumb. The 90s had a lot of great stuff. We also had a lot of dumb shit. And the closer we get to 2020, we'll be 30 years removed from the 90s. And I can remember everything from that decade, so it's a little embarrassing. Let's see. If you had a chance to erase The Last Jedi and Solo from existence, would you? Nope, because I wouldn't have found a lot of you, and you wouldn't have found me, and we wouldn't have the Fandom Menace, and we wouldn't have what we have right now. So it's terrible. All we can do in reality is hold Disney accountable, Lucasfilm, all these companies out there, the shill media, the Access media, if you want to take the high road like Nerdrotic. By the way, congratulations, Gary. And what we do is we help together with, I don't want to say with love because I'm not Rostico, but through creativity and, a good outlook, we can help reshape the pop culture landscape because we are the fans and we are the consumers. The Mary Sue be damned. The people that write those articles about fat acceptance Thor and this, that, and the other, look, they're not going to buy stuff. They're just looking to anger you and get clicks, and they don't really offer anything in terms of value. They're not fans. They don't bring an interesting perspective. They don't bring people together. They divide them up, and it's just really, really annoying. Let's see. I saw Endgame every time Captain Wyman was on screen. I facepalmed because of how bad she sucked, and my friends laughed at me the whole time. Well, Random Nerd of Dune, you're very lucky because she was only in the movie for a short period of time, and I firmly believe, and I've talked about it on a video before, I firmly believe the rumor about alternate cuts of Endgame, because one of the rumors was also about how the Hulk lost an arm. Well, technically he did. It's not gone, but it's damaged beyond repair. It's just a lifeless husk. So the Hulk, that happened, and I believe they cut out a lot of Captain Marvel, because one of my big complaints about Endgame is it's very, I won't call it disjointed like I would a Star Wars film from Rian Johnson, but I would call it, and I won't say plot holes right off the top of my head. What I'll say is there are beats that are missing. And you're like, huh. It's like when a CD skips. The song's good, but it skips real quick, and you're just like, huh, but then it gets good again. And as soon as you're comfortable, there's another skip, and you're like, huh. That's how I feel with Captain Marvel. They wrote her out of the movie. I firmly believe that, because why would you spend so much time telling us, beating us over the head, she's the future, she's this, she's great, and then nothing happens? It's counterproductive. In many ways, there's a Marvel reboot happening. I have a video I'm working on, and Spider-Man is going to be the face of the MCU. I'm not saying officially, but he will be looked at. And it's nothing to do with the trailer, with him as the Iron Man replacement. No, it's the fact that he's Marvel's most famous character. He's top 3 of all time: Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Sorry, Wonder Woman. That's the real trinity of all comic books. And Spider-Man has always stood the test of time. You don't really meet too many people that hate Spider-Man, and there's a lot of people that like Spider-Man but really don't like comic books. The character transcends comics like Batman. Superman, if you would have talked to me decades ago, I would have said that about him too, but he's really fallen back. He's just the oldest. He's technically, I guess, considered the first real superhero, not a pulp hero. And Well, I guess Pulp Heroes did come after him. I guess the Shadow is after him. I don't know. The Shadow knows, not me. Micah D2 says, good morning, Jeff. Last night was a great high council. Enjoy all you guys so much. Well, Micah D2, thank you very much for all the messages you sent us last night. I had a great time on the High Council. I mean this genuinely. I love the High Council. Jeremy and Ethan are great dudes. They're my buddies on the internet. We got each other's backs. The Fandom Menace is a great community to be involved in. Doomcock, always fun. It's funny. I invited him last week because I missed having him on the show. He's so much fun to talk to. And you all love Doomcock as well. And then Cecil kind of weaseled his way on, but yeah, we love us some Cecil too. I did meet Cecil. I guess that's happened since we had a show too. Yeah, I met Cecil. Cecil's a lot of fun. DJ Deadbeat, these aren't back right now. These are, when I host the High Council, is an incentive for those who watch it and give us a thumbs up. 1,000 thumbs up gets you a Good Morning Pop Culture. I actually thought to myself this morning, man, trying to do this every day on top of stand up to do videos in the comic, I would not be able to. But let me figure out a schedule because this is fun. Like, you can tell I'm excited when I do these because for me, it's just like a sense of comfort. It's like, oh, I'm back to Good Morning Pop Culture. I'm looking out my window. I'm talking to people. We're having a good time. So I can't promise that these are back all the time, but when I host the High Council, if I don't have anything too crazy the next day, I will offer this to you guys. So all you got to do is check us out over there while we're live, give it a thumbs up, and boom, there'll be a Good Morning Pop Culture about 8 o'clock the next day. And I couldn't be happier. Salvador, there you are, dude. Morning, Hefe. Been up since 2 p.m. yesterday and just got off work. Staying up to catch Good Morning Pop Culture live. We've come a long way since what? We've come a long way since 200 watching, duder. Oh my God, I don't even know where we're at. It doesn't even matter. I'm beyond excited and happy to be here. For example, YouTube has updated itself to a point where not many people are, I don't see the little thing at the bottom anymore that tells me how many people watch. I just see Good Morning Pop Culture and then the word links. So, yeah, we've come a long way, but, you had to build to get here, and I'm really happy about it. Let's see. What's my opinion on another trilogy of Star Wars and its future on TV? I don't know Game of Thrones enough, but I know certain people that are saying are criticizing Game of Thrones. I'm worried if you bring that to Star Wars on top of where it's already at with the lack of creativity from Disney, I'm nervous. So now, I like the idea of The Mandalorian. I really do. They're smart to put it right after Return of the Jedi, right? Yeah, it's Return of the Jedi after the Stormtroopers and stuff like that. Let's just be honest with ourselves, folks. The prequels are fine. They're not bad movies. I'm not going to rip on them. Episode 2 has a lot of shit cringe moments. Episode 1 does too, and 3 is just solid all around. And the Clone Wars is a great show. But the part of Star Wars that impacted culture was the original trilogy, and most importantly, the first film. If you can bring that visual aesthetic to anything, I guarantee success. Look at Rogue One, $1 billion. Pretty good movie. It drags at times. I wouldn't say it's the best of all Star Wars movies, but it's the best Disney Star Wars movie. But you get to see a Red Leader, and I think Gold Leader shows up in the movie. You got X-Wings, you got TIE Fighters, the Death Star, Darth Vader, and it didn't feel, outside of the scene in the hallway, it didn't feel overly fan servicey, if that makes sense. Like, I liked what happened, and I loved the ending. Here is my ending pitched a long time ago. God, over 2 years, going on 3. Yeah, Rogue One was 2016. So yeah, going on 3 years. So on the old episodes of the podcast, my pitch for the show or the movie was they escape, what is that, Scarif, and they're flying back, and they're like, where are you going? We're going to our home base on Alderaan. And then the movie ends. I thought that would be really funny because it's like, oh, they got away, only to go to Alderaan and be destroyed 2 hours later. I thought that would have been amazing, but it didn't happen. I did like the ending. It was very poetic, and it looked great. Battle of Scarif was awesome. The walkers were kind of useless. I mean, for the sake of the story, they used different walkers so they could be shot down by laser blasts. And I guess that was the motive for the Empire to upgrade, because they took a damage report and they saw that the walkers were whatever. I don't know. It's not a perfect movie, but I really do like it. So that's my thoughts on the future. If it's, The Mandalorian and it looks like that kind of classic Star Wars, I think it could be a damn good thing. Pie Guy has also been here since 7K subscribers. Thank you very much, Pie Guy. We appreciate you, man. Also, shout out to Minority Report and Star Wars for Life. And it's a happy birthday to Doomcock. So, folks, check out Overlord DVD here on YouTube and give Doomcock a subscribe. He's really great on the High Council and all the live shows, but he's crazy on his own videos because of the production value that he puts into each one. The guy puts his heart into everything, and it shows. Tim Riggs says, good morning, pop culture. What's up, Tim Riggs? I hope to see you in Indianapolis. By the way, folks, we'll be in Indianapolis September 6th through the 8th at Horror Hound, Indianapolis. We will have a table. I've taken care of that, so the table's locked in. Going to be giving out a few, some stickers, some cards, all kinds of shit. We'll make some big announcements there, and we'll have some fun. And we'll try to get a little meet and greet lined up, maybe down at the hotel bar, have a dinner, something. We'll make it work. This will be our third World Class Bullshitters convention. And we've gotten through the awkward growing pains stage. Actually, Horror Hound Cincinnati was great. I just don't remember most of it. There you go, action figure expert. A red letter date in the history of science, November 5th, 1955. Let's see where we're at. You thought Doomcock was being overly positive on Endgame. I know a lot of people were really happy about it. I enjoyed it when I left. I don't know. It kind of gets me, not down, but, whatever. I have to be realistic to it. So let's see. We had the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey sent in $2. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I did this one from Geek Talk Society, who says, based my channel around how you guys do it, inspired me to do the same. I'm at 456 subs now, but gaining, but kept it up. Based my channel around how you guys do it, you inspired me to do the same. I'm at 456 subs now, but gaining, but keep it up. Oh, and the nightmare happened. Well, you know what? Let's see. I'm going to make sure you get to 457. So it's the Geek Talk Society. There you are. And I'm subscribed. So there you go. There's another subscriber. Boom. Bell notification turned on. All you guys got to do is keep at it. There are times where it seems slow, but if you're consistent, people will find you all the time. The only franchise that has not gone woke is TMNT. I think they made April O'Neil black in the cartoon now, so maybe if you consider that. I just don't like race or gender swaps of any kind. Characters are the characters. They're established. People like them, no matter who you are. Let's see. Hey, message Jeff. He happened to catch. Is that a quote from Coming to America action figure expert? I do have an Eddie Murphy Prince Akeem Funko Pop from Target. I do own that. I bought that myself. I don't care. I fucking love Eddie Murphy movies. To me, that is the guy who needs a comeback the most. I know a lot of you are younger than me, and I know a lot of you are older than me. But if you're older, you remember Eddie Murphy being like one of the premier actors of the 80s, not in terms of like quality, but just popularity. He was everywhere. He was on SNL in the beginning of the decade. Then he had Beverly Hills Cop, which is one of the most successful films of that entire decade. Then he had an album come out. Then he followed it up with Golden Child, Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop 2, flip those last two movies, all kinds of hits. Eddie Murphy really had maybe Harrison Ford and Schwarzenegger and Stallone had better decades, but not actor-wise, not too many other people. I mean, that dude was an icon, and he fell off quickly. Yeah, he's dedicated to family life and stuff, but I don't know. Cruel Sorrow. So if you get 2K likes, does it mean 2 Good Morning Pop Cultures? Sure. Yeah. If we put it like this, when you're listening to the High Council, every 1,000 likes will get you a Good Morning Pop Culture. If we got 12,000 viewers and 12,000 thumbs up on a High Council while we're live, that's the caveat, while we're live, yes, I will do 12 days consecutively. Just weekdays, obviously. But the power is in your hands, folks. That's all I can say. Yes, Salvador says, hey, you guys reading this, why don't you moisten the muff button? Yes, folks, give us a thumbs up. It's not just a simple request from the King of Ohio. What it actually does is it helps all of our channels become more searchable. Like, so when we would say on the podcast, give us a 5-star review, it's not for our egos. It's so that, iTunes and Podbean see that people like this, and then it becomes, more recommended. So to help the Fandom Menace grow, always give a thumbs up no matter what you guys do, because it will help and it will get us in front of more eyes. It'll grow the channels and we'll have a bigger community, and we'll have a lot of fun. You can never say we don't have fun on these things. I've never had a bad time on a stream ever. Cesare Japan, thank you very much. Did you see that list of hashtag Fandom Menace YouTubers to avoid? That was on Twitter. Clownfish TV saw it first, and that Umbrella guy featured on a live stream. List features folks that weren't hashtag Fandom Menace. Yes, I did see that, and I noticed that I was in the very center of the screenshot, so I was like, cool, we're right there. The funny thing is, the people that tell us to tell other people to avoid us don't actually listen. You may hear sound bites, you may take things out of context, but you can take anything out of context and make it sound horrible. I can take you the world's most inspirational speech, chop it up, play it in different order, and it sounds like a guy telling you to, I don't know, go beat up an old lady and steal a shopping cart or something stupid like that. You can mimic these things any way you want, but if you would actually sit down and listen, not just put us on and go do something and come back every 10 minutes, but sit down and listen to what we say in these videos or on the streams, you'd realize that those people are full of shit. Now, I realize it, and I don't care. But to your point, I did see a lot of names that weren't Fandom Menace, and that's fine. It just goes to show the ignorance and stupidity of that actual list. I take it as a compliment that you think of me when you think of a big online movement. This channel is right near the top. So thank you. You guys keep talking about us. We keep getting more powerful, and we'll be here for a long period of time. We got all you guys. I mean, that's the thing they can't take away from the Fandom Menace, is the fact that our audience is so huge. I mean, yes, there is crossover for a lot of people. A lot of people watch everybody. But at the same time, we can't actually calculate how many do and don't. So with Jeremy's 150,000, mine nearly 120, Ethan's 124, and then Gary's at almost 90. It keeps growing. That Star Wars girl is about at 90. Mecha Random's in her 30s. Doomcock's almost to 30,000. I mean, these channels keep growing for a reason. No matter what you try to say on Twitter about us, it's not true. Therefore, your campaign doesn't work. So, all we do is we remain who we are. We entertain our listeners, and we grow new listeners every day. So they're just jealous. There's a lot of anger. And now those who can't do teach, and those who can't on the internet bitch. So take that the way you will. Tim Riggs says, I don't agree about Spider-Man, Jeff. Sony still owns those rights. They'll screw it up, sure. But Far From Home is the last collab for now. Yes, Sony does own the rights. They actually own a chunk of the character, not just like the film rights. And I know Far From Home could be the last thing. But look at it like this. No matter what comes out about Spider-Man in terms of movie, the character is just so popular. And a lot of people like Tom Holland. I think he's fine. I don't love him like most people do. But like this, I like him. I hate the world he lives in. I think it'll be... I'm trying to think of a good analogy. Okay, real quick wrestling analogy. The Rock got over, and people cheered and cheered and cheered, and eventually he became a face, which is a good guy in terms of wrestling. He got real popular, and you can't really help it. Or no, better example is Daniel Bryan. The WWE has a show called WrestleMania. It's their biggest show of the year. They wanted Batista, the guy who plays Drax the Destroyer, and a wrestler named Randy Orton to main event. And the fans wanted a guy called Daniel Bryan. He's a little guy, and they kept putting him down, and eventually, due to crowd reaction and response, Daniel Bryan got the nod and became, world champion, main event of the show. It was a happy moment. In terms of Spider-Man, Spider-Man's already over, already popular. You can't keep him down. And right now, you got a lot of goodwill from the Avengers movies with this. And if the money's right, which it will be, Sony will play ball. Because yes, Venom did make a lot of money on its own without a Spider-Man connection. But Spider-Man, if you try to reboot it again, remember, Sony and Marvel went out of their way in this reboot to avoid Uncle Ben, great power, great responsibility, certain hallmarks of the character. They went out of their way to avoid those. And personally, I find that annoying, but if they commit, they can keep this going for a while. So I think just out of necessity, it'll keep going, and he'll just become the face in spirit because of the popularity. And Captain Marvel has such a negative stigma brought upon it by Brie Larson, not sexist fans, stupid actors. The Brie Larson situation was a dumpster fire the entire time. and it was all brought upon herself. I mean, what's an Avengers meme that you think of? Well, it's usually, I am inevitable, I am Iron Man, or whatever. You see all these memes, but when it's Captain Marvel, it's I need to speak to a manager. Like, nobody likes the character. You get really weird people that'll be like, "Oh, she's my hero." I'm like, have you been reading comics for like a day? Because she's only been around since 2012, and she's not that successful. So you're not doing your part to keep it alive. And second, I get if a kid likes something, but that doesn't justify, that it's the most popular thing in the world. Logan Michael Anti-Funko Pop says, will there be more G.M.P.C this summer? Yeah, I've thought about summer shows. I've actually sat down and thought about, trying to do more shit in the summer, because a portion of our audience is younger. Might do later night stuff to try to expand our worldwide audience. I don't know yet. I got a really good thing going with the videos. Everyone's happy with those. I just got to figure out the schedule. Like I said, nothing's really off the table in terms of ideas. I'm always open to concepts, crossovers, stuff like that. I just don't, I don't know. But like that, Logan, I don't know. Claw Stork, there he is. Good morning, Jeff. Which Bond gadget would you like to have and find most useful? I mean, if I can count the car, the Aston Martin DB5, well, that would be it. That's my favorite car in the world. It's too bad that it won't fit in the P.O. box, but, the deed and a set of car keys will, so just throw that out there, guys. No, but in all seriousness, if the DB5 does not count, I would say the laser watch. Because when I graduated from college, my mom's boyfriend gave me an Omega Seamaster, and when I put it on, I went, my God, I wish a laser shot out of the front like in the video game. So that, or the grenade pen, I guess a lot of my gadgets would come from GoldenEye. I mean, I like the practical ones that I would not need, but like you could just carry with you and no one would ever know. It's like, don't click my pen 3 times and wait 3 seconds. Just, don't. But I'm trying to think of other gadgets. I do like in Live and Let Die. He has the buzzsaw / magnet on his Rolex. That's a cool gadget. The jetpack is stupid. Just to be honest. Radioactive lint is stupid. Yeah, I'm going to go. I mean, I would say the self-driving car from Tomorrow Never Dies, but we have that now. It's called a Tesla. So I'm going to go with laser watch. So, where are we at, man? People just keep on rolling in. Gladiator Briggs says, Rogue One was unwatchable. Hey, that was the only one from the Disney camp that I felt happy leaving for. Let's see. John Wick Chapter 2. Or Tim Riggs says, I'll be seeing It Chapter 2 that weekend. Yes, that's going to be a good weekend. I'm going to see it eventually. Jonathan Hurst, thank you for waking up with me to watch the show. I appreciate it. Where were we at? I don't want to ignore anybody. Let's see. I would love to have a Star Wars movie where the sequel trilogy characters all get killed off just to piss off the SJWs. I would too. I'd pay $30 a ticket to go see that movie. I would love it. Just to watch Rey eat shit. Salvador, thank you very much. Would love to see a Star Wars show / movie about the Syndicate, Hutt, Pike, etc., vying for turf and routes, utilizing smugglers and bounty hunters to duke it out, pitting Dengar against Boss, etc. Betrayal, fights, outlaws. It would be great. Yes, I would watch that in a heartbeat. If that was a show they were bringing, and it was like, look at, would I like a harder-edged Netflix Marvel-style show? Of course I would. But, if I'm being honest, PG-13 is as far as you should really push Star Wars. Star Wars is not really... Here's the thing, too, when you think about Star Wars, people think of merchandise and Yoda and R2-D2 and all these friendly, family-friendly things. But Star Wars is a pretty dirty, nasty, violent franchise underneath the layers. I mean, there's amputations, decapitations, immolations. I mean, they burn Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru alive, and Luke finds the remains. They drugged Princess Leia. They were gonna do all kinds of terrible shit. And you know what? It's fine. It shows that the bad guys are bad and the good guys are good. And I don't think you should go any darker in terms of violence than A New Hope, because I would consider A New Hope the most violent of the franchise, much like I consider Raiders of the Lost Ark the most violent Indiana Jones flick. People say, well, Temple of Doom has the heart-ripping scene. That is true. Not only is it does it have that, but it's also got a really light, humorous tone. Raiders of the Lost Ark is very serious. It has some humor, but it's serious. It's the bloodiest in terms of like the gunshots actually produce blood. Like, you know, in 80s movies like RoboCop, there's blood squibs everywhere. It's crazy. Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, people just get shot or don't get shot. They have that one scene with the Fuggy guard, and that's about it in terms of blood. In Raiders, Indy shoots the dude in the head in the truck, and there's blood all over. What happens to the bad guys is violent and gory. Sapito or Satipo, depending on the merchandise in the book, he gets speared in the temple. So there's a lot of violence. What I'm trying to say in a roundabout way, though, is with Star Wars, don't go more violent than A New Hope, but don't make it super sappy either. And with Dengar and Bosk and characters that you can bring back through makeup effects, puppetry, CGI, that the characters that really don't have speaking lines or too much of a personality outside of just, you know, being a merchandise piece, you could really utilize those characters and it would feel cool. And I love your idea of an underworld, a Star Wars underworld show. To me, they should have had this show. They should have had Star Wars 1313, the game. Look, milk Boba Fett. People love Boba Fett. If they were making more Boba Fett shit, I'd be watching it. I couldn't get it enough. People say, well, Boba Fett's a lame character. Boba Fett died in a lame way, but he was pretty cool. You know, a look can be everything, especially in terms of Boba Fett. Plus, he achieved what he set out to do. Unlike a lot of movie villains, he captured Han Solo. He was the smartest one. He got the Darth Vader. He got his payment from Jabba the Hutt. He did meet his end in the most ridiculous way possible, but he was successful. So let's not, forget about that. But I love your concept, Salvador. I would not only sign up for that, I would be excited about it. I would treat it like Gary treats Game of Thrones. We do a pre-show, a post-show, all this other shit. So I like your concept. Big time, dude. Brett Favre says, being a big Game of Thrones fan, I'm happy the Fandom Menace will have more things to make videos on after this trash season. Yeah, I got a video that talks about Game of Thrones and the Star Wars implications moving forward. The one thing I believe in on this channel is honesty, and honestly, I don't watch the show, so I can't sit and tell you, I know the characters because they're just part of popular culture, but I couldn't sit and tell you their motivations, this, that, and the other. I can tell you what they look like and who plays them for the most part, but other than that, I'm not a big Game of Thrones guy, but I will have other content for those who are not Game of Thrones fans. RA, thank you very, very much. Daily reminder, voting with your dollars only goes as far in a climate where the people killing industries for agendas will gladly go after banks and payment processors to lock your bank accounts if you say the wrong thing. It's a scary time. I mean, people really are... Ideology is very vicious right now. So I would suggest that anybody who makes content is careful. Do what you believe, but have a plan. Always have a plan for all that kind of stuff, because it's happened to a lot of other YouTubers, and eventually enough people get fed up, like they are with movies and the way TV shows work. I mean, what was that show, Last Man Standing, with Tim Allen, that got canceled on ABC, but then Fox brought it back, and now it's like one of Fox's biggest shows or some shit like that. I mean, I guess it's technically back at Disney. Well, did Fox sell off the TV division, or did Disney sell off the TV division? I know they sold the sports. Point is, there's two sides to every coin, and the opposite has a lot of power too. I think if enough creators get together and create their own stuff, we'll see the pendulum swing back the other way. Could it be more extreme? You never know. But anything that happens, the last couple of years have brought it on those people. I recently watched Spider-Man 2002 with you guys, and it helped me see it in another light, I guess. But it's now my favorite movie. I already loved it a lot. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it with me. I guess, yeah, I did that stream years ago, I guess, with a commentary. It's one of the most important movies to me. Not necessarily my favorite superhero movie. Spider-Man 2 is. But I love that movie quite a bit. And it's nice to sit back and watch it. And it's a reminder of 2002 in a good way. A lot of times people look back on like early 2000s and go, oh, cargo pants and frosted tips and all these terrible 90s things crossed over. Shiny jackets, leather pants, Chris Jericho attire. And then you have some stuff like Spider-Man that really does hold up. A good theme and a good, strong story is more important than the fashions of the day and will transcend it. I mean, Star Wars, is meant to be timeless. Those sideburns say other, but it still works to this day. And I think Spider-Man really works to this day. Brie Larson's stunt double is hotter than Brie Larson. That is not a hard thing to achieve, being hotter than Brie Larson. Just saying. Hey, Jeff, when are you going to be back on EFAP? When they cover something not Game of Thrones and they invite me on, sure. I'll go on lots of YouTube channels. You just got to invite me on, folks. So there you go. Lokio7 says, TNT just announced that they are back in the wrestling biz with AEW. The new wrestling wars have begun. I am personally excited for AEW, not just because of a different wrestling company, but because WWE has to really up their shit. I know a lot of people in our crowd do not enjoy wrestling, and that's fine. I'm not going to try to sell you on wrestling, but what I will tell you is competition is good for any business, entertainment, food service, whatever, because it requires you to be more creative and entertaining. So if you watch wrestling in the 90s, they had the WCW that really made the WWF at the time up their game and do all kinds of crazy shit to get viewers to watch their shows. You know, Stone Cold was extreme, The Rock was extreme, all these guys were awesome, iconic characters. And then the WWE reverted back to their old ways, and now they're having the lowest views in history. So AEW is going to be good if you like wrestling, because it's going to make the WWE up their game. They can't rely on stupid bullshit like Peach Cobbler sending postcards and stuff that actually happens on TV. No, when you're going to have 5-star matches on a pay-per-view, instead of having dance segments where some racist guy beats up on people, you're going to have really good matches, and you got to up your commentary. No more garbage commentary from Michael Cole, what's-his-face, Corey Graves, and Renee Young. They got to go. You got to get real sports commentators in there and treat it like it's a sport. You know, it's never going to be looked at the same way as UFC or an actual sport, because wrestling is a sport, it's sports entertainment, but treat it as such, and people will treat it as such. So the ball's in your court, Vince McMahon. You're trying to move to Fox, and for those out there, with the Disney mergers and all these things, the WWE is going to Fox, and the rumor has it if the WWE can't deliver 3 million viewers each episode, they're going to lose their TV deal, and I kind of hope that happens to put them in check. Morning, Mr. V. Good to see you back. Good to see you back. Jeff, the shades where you can see everything. Yeah, I'd go with that. All from Tomorrow Never, or The World's Not Enough. Those are good shades. I like those. I like those quite a bit. I guess I was just trying to be, practical. I mean, I'd love those glasses, but man, a laser watch, you could cut through anything. That'd be so fun. Let's see. Would you rather hug Jabba the Hutt or Kathleen Kennedy? Well, to be fair, Jabba the Hutt was a puppet who has decomposed, and all that is left are the eyeballs. So I'd rather hug those eyeballs than Kathleen Kennedy. I don't even want to be in the same room as her. Ugh. Could the Avengers take Darth Vader? Probably. I mean, magic with Thor. Well, where I come from, it's one of the same, science and technology and magic and all that shit. Yeah, I think the Avengers could. I mean, the Force is cool and all, but unless you're right, if you take what's established with these characters and not some fan fiction level shit like with Darth Vader, I think you'll be fine. Jonathan Hurst says, tips for the Temple of Doom, fave of the 3. Jonathan Hurst, Temple of Doom's my favorite Indiana Jones flick as well. I just love it. It was the first one I saw. It's got a great score, great action set pieces. The ending is a literal roller coaster ride. So I've said that before, and I stand by Temple of Doom all day, every day. Brett Favre says, can we, for the love of God, have a good lightsaber fight? WTF Lucasfilm. Yes, I think we need a good lightsaber fight. People want to use the argument, well, Rey's not trained. Well, Rey's trained enough to beat Kylo Ren. Why couldn't we have an actual Jedi or something? One of my biggest problems, and it's in James Bond too, is we're so worried about telling these, like, is it postmodernism? I don't know exactly what the exact wording would be, but the stories where the heroes are past their prime. Why can't we just have good heroes in their prime? I mean, John Wick comes out of retirement and still has got it, and it's really compelling to watch a master at work. Why can't we just stop with these we're going to have old heroes and then pass them off to new heroes, and then the new heroes are too old. It's the same fucking story that it just keeps selling us for years on end. That kind of stuff pisses me off. And why isn't Kylo Ren better with the lightsaber? Those duels are stupid. They slide around the salt flats. They fight in the desert or the forest. The new one's going to be shit too. I say the new one though, they'll try to up it. They'll go prequel level insanity of different fighting stances and flips and all this other crap, because they need to leave you happy. They need to wow you. They want the last thing in your memory to be, wow, did you see episode 9? I just don't know if it'll feel good, feel natural. Luke Skywalker had all that training that he did on his own, but the shit he only did, he did a flip in Empire, which he was taught from Yoda. He did 2 flips in Jedi. The one that he did on Jabba's sailboat, the little skiff. And then in the third one, he did that backflip. There weren't too many crazy moves and stuff like that. It only makes sense that the Jedi and the prequels would do it because that's how they've trained. My big complaint, though, with the prequels is that if you listen to A New Hope, they talk about the Jedi have been extinct. It sounds like they've been extinct for a long time. They've been gone for 19 years. I mean, I remember shit from the year 2000. O-Town is not extinct. I mean, they were around in the year 2000. So I don't want to compare the Jedi to a boy band, but, I did. Where are we at? What up, Edward Hogue? I see you in the chat. Dean Hopesoffel, thank you very much. I enjoyed Solo the most out of Disney films. Didn't like Alden as Han or the Fembot, but everything I thought was cool, especially Tobias Beckett. Yeah, I liked Woody Harrelson's character. He was fine. I wanted more of him, maybe. I need to go back. I don't need to go back and rewatch it. I don't even want to. To form a stronger opinion on the film, I would have to watch it again. If I'm ranking the Disney Star Wars films, I'll say Rogue One, Solo, and the other 2 just suck. So they're, unilaterally garbage. But, I see where you're coming from. For me, the realm of Star Wars I enjoy does not include lightsabers in the Force. I like the underbelly of the galaxy, the Empire trying to crush down on crime, that kind of stuff. It's interesting, blasters and light speed is more entertaining to me than lightsabers in the Force. But I like it all. You got to have a nice balance. Tim Riggs says, in all my years, I've never seen, heard, or smelled a topic so dangerous it could be talked about. Hell, yes, I'm debating for anything. Stephen McNair, 1776. It's a 1972 movie. Watch it, kids. Well, I'll take a screenshot of that, Tim. We'll talk about it together in Indianapolis. You can tell me more about the film. Maybe it was earlier in this year, or late last year, I was watching a lot of classic films in quotations. So I finally saw The Godfather. I've been watching some old Orson Welles flicks. What was the one I just recently watched? The old Hitchcock movie, Strangers on a Train. Good movie. So I've been trying to watch older stuff just for ideas, just to get my brain moving in a creative direction, because look, I love Marvel flicks. I'm not going to tell you they suck at all, but sometimes you need different forms of entertainment, and I go backwards. That's what I choose to do. I go backwards. Oh, Kendo, shut up with your Uso hot bullshit. Whatever cosplay is Andre the Giant, sure. I'll get a wig and a singlet. Jeff, did you like Fat Thor? I did. I thought it was funny, but I also thought the joke should have died out mid-movie. It's nothing to do with fat acceptance or whatever. I just thought through magic or some dumb shit, maybe Hela gives him a potion, like a magical insulin shot, and the fat just disappears. I just thought Thor was kind of ineffective in the final battle and looked dumb. But that's really about it. That's my big complaint. Orbital Layer says, hi, Jeff. What's new? Well, lots of stuff is new. Stuff's been going great. Channel's been growing, so we're really happy there. Almost done with this book, so that's exciting. I got concepts for the next one. All kinds of new stuff's going on. Some stuff I can talk about publicly, some stuff I can't. And I'm trying to get involved with you guys more. Like tonight, I'm going to be over on the Black Angus channel it's his birthday, and he requested that I show up. So, I'm like Beetlejuice. Say my name 3 times, and poof, I appear, just like Johnny Wishbone. And that'll be fun. I know he wants to talk about Raimi's Spider-Man and a couple other things. And he wants to celebrate 1,000 subscribers and the like. So if you want to hear me interact with different people tonight, Black Angus Reviews, 8 p.m. I have to leave by 10 because I got stuff to do in the morning. But I will, I'll make it happen. And you guys can find me over there. So that's what's new for now. Which version of the Omega Seamaster did you get? God, it's somewhere on my Facebook. It's like a 2011 model. I really like it. I really like it a lot. Alpha Terranema, what's up? The real reason Thor has PTSD in Endgame is because Noobmaster 69 kept killing him as Thanos in Fortnite and dabbing on him. The Noobmaster 69 joke was pretty good, and I would love if that was secretly Loki on the other side playing. That should have been the post-credit sequence. It should have just been, you would have heard like some Fortnite gaming going on, and all of a sudden, something new, Master 69. You hear Thor screaming through the microphone, and you hear a chuckle, and it's Loki, and he just kind of goes like, and then it ends. I'd be excited with that. So let's start talking about something very, very important. Tim, thank you for being here for Good Morning Pop Culture. So I wanted to talk about the Disney acquisition of Hulu. And I'm going to make a video of this because what's going to happen with this stream in particular is that it's going to be archived on the G.M.P.C channel. So if you just go type in Good Morning Pop Culture, there's a channel with about 2,400 subscribers. I got new artwork up. It's called Good Morning Pop Culture / the World Class Bullshitters Official Archives. So I'll be putting stuff over there. But Disney buying Hulu, I saw it coming a mile away. If you listen to our videos on the Disney-Fox merger and how Disney owns, it was 1.66%, and now they're going to go for full control. I've been saying it for a while. I've also been saying that they're going to turn Hulu into Disney Plus integrated because there was a small piece of news that came out that talked about how Disney would lose $1 billion initially with their building of Disney Plus, like from the ground up. So they were going to basically take over something else, integrate their servers, and become Disney Plus. On top of that, we also have the news that Disney recently lost $500 million on their Vice investment. So Vice Media, Tim Pool had a video that I've written this video. I just need to make it. Tim Pool made this video about how Vice Media has died, essentially. It's worthless. We could buy it if we wanted to, but it's worthless, so why would we? And one of the points he makes, which I agree with, is the fact that Vice is very left-leaning and very identity politic heavy, and it's turned off a lot of people. And a lot of these companies that Disney owns are very agenda-driven. And so Disney may have the big tentpole franchises like Marvel, formerly Star Wars, and whatever else they're going to buy in the future. But what they have is a problem, because if they keep going one way, they turn off at least half of your movie-going audience. And then there were some pieces of information that Tim showed, some numbers, some statistics about what percentage supports this type of news source as opposed to that type of news source. It was very interesting, to say the least, for me. And I don't tell you about Disney or bring stuff to your attention because it's enjoyable to rip on. It's because I find them to be very dangerous. Disney buying up everything. It's like the analogy I use for wrestling. The WWE bought up its competition, became stagnant. Now, that's just wrestling. That's one part of entertainment. Disney's buying up entertainment, all of it. Streaming, movies, maybe a game company one day. And they have a very clear goal. They have a one-sided agenda, which sucks for at least 50% of the audience. Because if they created new IPs that were centered around this garbage, people wouldn't buy it. So what they do is they take the shit you love. Not just the shit you like, but the shit you love. We can all agree that Star Wars is near and dear to a lot of our hearts. And what people do, or what Disney did, is they took it, they told you on something, they sold you on a lie, and then they've really turned it into something else because they get these people involved that don't know dick about creativity, and then they accuse you of wrongthink, and they ruin it for the rest of us. And that's the problem with what they're doing with Hulu and all these other acquisitions. I mean, if it was one thing like Well, Disney's the premier name in children's entertainment. Okay. And as a kid, the Disney stuff wasn't too bad. But now it's just everywhere, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they bought Warner Brothers or Sony or something in the future. And when the hell does the government get in and break them up? I don't want to get political. I don't want to sit and talk about that stuff because we have a lot of international listeners and that's not important to you. But we do have, these monopoly rules. And Disney's getting too big. I think they brought in they were valued at $98 billion in 2018. So yes, a $500 million loss with a Vice Media is not that great. But remember, those things add up. They can only suffer 200 of those before, boom, they're done. I don't really want Disney to go away. I just want Disney to lose some power because they just keep buying, and they're not delivering. People say, well, they deliver with Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios followed the plan. The plan's over. They never delivered with Star Wars. They're not going to deliver with Indiana Jones. Look, I love Indiana Jones. How many times have I sat on here and told you guys, Temple of Doom, this, that, and the other. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. I don't want another movie. There shouldn't be any more. But Disney sees a way to make some money, and they'll bastardize anything they can. They'll dust it off. It's no worse than Vince McMahon pulling out an old Hulk Hogan and said, hey, brother, wrestle me one more match. People go, oh, that's, lame. You should let whatever wrestle. You should let whatever do. Indiana Jones, you rode off into the sunset with your dad, Sala, and Marcus Brody. You didn't need a fourth movie. There doesn't need to be any more. Steven Spielberg, Harrison Ford regain some integrity and don't make it. I just don't like the Disney model, excuse me. They have failed. They did buy Power Rangers and that failed. Now Hasbro has it. So that'll be interesting to see if Hasbro can actually build a film studio. Transformer movies were essentially rebooted with Bumblebee, which wasn't that bad of a movie. It wasn't great, but I sat through it with Joel mostly, and I didn't dislike it. I liked it more than the other ones, all except for part 1. Parts 2 through 4 were dog shit. If we're going to start adapting, I think we're in an era too where societally, or not even society, just the audiences have accepted some of the more outlandish designs, especially with Bumblebee. The characters looked great. They looked just like the cartoon come to life. So that was a big selling point. I think we're at a point where we don't have to use the Matrix black leather attire for everything. We don't have to try to make it look cool for a movie. That's the only positive I can say out of this entire statement. The council went until 1 o'clock last night. A 3-hour, 57-minute show. Hell of a time. Cecil stuck through it the entire time. Doomcock had to go. Doomcock's up busy right now. It's his birthday, so let's give another happy birthday to Doomcock. Let's see. What if Disney got the Ninja Turtles? Ninja Turtles are kind of shit right now. Here's the thing, too, about Ninja Turtles that a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but I don't think the people that own it understand. The Ninja Turtles means a lot to people who are, let's see, between 25 and 35. That's your target audience. Now, if you've noticed, in the collector's realm, they have gone back over the last 4 or 5 years, and they've released a lot of stuff based on the cartoon. They'll do SH Figure Arts, which is one of the highest end action figure lines you can get in the world, did a set of Ninja Turtle figures. They looked good. And then NECA did a set that was originally for Comic-Con only, and now they re-released it at Target, which I was fortunate enough to pick up. They're great-looking toys, but they're also $52 a set. That's expensive for 2 figures. So what they're doing is they're basically marketing it towards the older audience. The big money comes in from them. Kids do play with the new stuff. I can't lie to you like that. But Nickelodeon owns Ninja Turtles. I believe Nickelodeon is owned by Viacom, which is its own juggernaut. By the way, I saw the Viacom building in New York City. Have we had a Good Morning Pop Culture since I've been to New York and Chicago? Maybe it had to have been since then. I don't know. Sorry. Time gets away from me when I do this shit. But Ninja Turtles, I would say, is kind of safe because all they can really do is milk the old stuff. Now, just like Ghostbusters, I'm thinking, Jeff, Ghostbusters 2016 was a dumpster fire. Yeah, it was. It was unfunny. It was stupid. Paul Feig is a shitty filmmaker. But if you've noticed, Ghostbusters has reverted from yay, the new Ghostbusters to, hey, here's a $300 action figure set. We have a Blu-ray with all the special features. And yes, this is an anniversary year, but before that, they've been putting out high-end PKE meters and proton packs, 1/6 scale ecto ones that are $1,000, Blitzway dolls that are $1,200 for all of them. My point is, these companies know these properties have an expiration date unless you milk the classic stuff. And when you have the audience that you can milk the classic stuff with, they have an emotional attachment. The emotional attachment is what will detach them from $1,200 for $4. You know what I'm saying? So if you want serious money, you gotta basically coddle, or not coddle. Coddle isn't even the right thing. You gotta just basically respect that portion of the audience and guide them, to make them to want to support it. And when you're bombarded with the identity politics like Star Wars, luckily Star Wars is big enough that, and really cheap enough for certain things that anybody can get in. And that's the difference. Alec Munoz has an excellent question. Jeff, thoughts on Dark Phoenix? Looks terrible. Alec, I agree. I'm an X-Men fan. The Dark Phoenix saga is my favorite X-Men story from the comic books. Written by Chris Claremont, drawn by John Byrne, inked by Terry Austin. And you got to give, folks, anyone out there that listens or reads comic books, do me a favor, respect the person inking those books, because the inking process is very, very arduous. And I ink all the pages on Stealing Solo. I found a lot of time in the inking process, even over the penciling stage. Everyone gets, like Ethan inks his own artwork. That's why his looks a certain way, because he pencils it and he inks it. It's meticulous. When you do the roughing with the pencils and the shape building and stuff like that, the perspective, that's a process that takes hours, but it usually doesn't take the time that the inking does, because you have to get smooth, delicate lines, the line weight. That's my platform I'm standing on. Sorry, I'm done, going off campaigning for inkers. But in terms of the Dark Phoenix film, I think it looks like shit as well. I did not like X-Men Apocalypse at all. I loved Days of Future Past. First Class is okay. Deadpool doesn't really count in that, but if I have to say Deadpool, I love Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2 is just okay. But I'm really disappointed because I really love the comic book story. Now, there's no way you could tell the actual story in movie form, because it goes over a long period of time. They would have to go into space, and Jean would have to. It goes long. Like, are they going to do the Hudson River scene? Is she going to go into the cocoon? Are they going to do Madeline Pryor? There's all these things that you're wondering if they're going to do, and they don't. The Fox movies got us to the table, but the Fox X-Men films were like your friend in grade school. You had great memories. No, let's say it, your friend in high school. You got to do some cool stuff. You spent a lot of time together. You became good friends. But once you got exposed to like the MCU in college, and you and your friend went separate ways. You went off, you became cultured, you experienced all these things in life, and your friend is drinking Bud Light, working at the drive-thru, missing a couple of teeth, and you're just like, we had good times together in the past, but at the end of it, we've kind of grown apart, and there are other things out there for me. So it's a very depressing way to look at it. Sorry. But yeah, I'm not excited for this movie at all. I don't even know if I'm going to see it. Seriously, I'm not trying to just rip on something to rip on something. I honestly don't think I will go see that film at all. I have no interest in it whatsoever. Yeah, there is a new animated movie, Batman versus TMNT. I read the book years ago. What's the guy's name that drew it? Because I got his How to Draw DC's digital book. Oh, fuck. I don't know his name off the top of my head. Something. But he's a good artist, and I read the book. It was all colored in Copic marker, so it was kind of weird looking. But I like the concept. But too many Batman crossovers. I just really wish you could get like all these people in a room and just say, like, calm down. We're going to do this. But, let's see. I am Megazord Jeremy. I have combined power of all the Jeremys. Megazord sequence has been initiated. God, I love that show. I don't care how hokey it is. Power Rangers. I even picked up those new Hasbro Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. All two of them. Lord Zed and Tommy the White Ranger. It'd be funny if you guys ever meet me at a show and you want to get my attention, play the Power Ranger theme. I will stop what I'm doing and I will look around to hear that. There's something about those notes that takes me back to being a kid. Bjorn says X-Men all training cast when 4 or 5 years. My guess. That's a good guess, Bjorn. I don't know if Disney would have the gall. I won't say balls to do that. It would be interesting. Who would be your Professor X? I don't know. Yeah, Dr. Coffindale's, that is depressing. Megazord Jeremy, say my name, Jeff. I know you want to. I already have. I already have. Or play Axel F. Yeah, Mr. V, you could play Axel F, but you have to be very careful to get the right version to play. Because if you play some bootleg one off of a ringtone or the Crazy Frog, I'll never talk to you again. You gotta play like the lowest common denominator version I will go for is the version just titled Axel F from the album. But if you pick the version I like from the movie the best that Kendo knows, well, then we'll be best friends. And no, I have not watched any of the new Power Rangers. I like geek culture. I like, cartoons and comics and all this stuff, but I really grew out of Power Rangers quickly. I didn't even stick through Zeo, which I would have been, 7 years old, 6 years old for. Here's how it went. When I was a little kid, I liked Thomas the Tank Engine and Pee Wee Herman and Sesame Street. And then I got into superheroes. And then I got into Power Rangers. And I stuck with superheroes till now, so we're not going to talk about them. I always stuck with superheroes. But then after Power Rangers, I really got into Toy Story because it was new. I had a Buzz Lightyear that talked and everything. It was really cool. And then right after that, I got into Star Wars. And I stuck with Star Wars religiously from 96 till 99. Then I got into Pokemon. Then I got into wrestling. And that really took off. I tried to get into Star Wars. Not until 04 again could I get into it. But Power Rangers, I left so fast. But it was such a big deal for me as a kid that I can't forget about it. I just can't go back and watch it. Like the stuff, I can watch the original show, guilty pleasure, but I can't do any of the modern stuff. It's just hokey to me. So I'm sure it's always been bad to some people. If you're the wrong age, I don't think Power Rangers is for you. But if you were 30, I was 5 years old back then, and you heard that the guitar hit, and they started doing the flips and the power, power sword, power lance, power daggers, power axe, power bow, all came together. And they shot, the Pudgy Pig or the Megazord came together. It was fun. Plus, I had an awesome mom who, I was an only child. My mom worked hard, but she always made sure if I liked something, I had it. So I love Power Rangers. Dude, I shit you not, I probably got a new Power Ranger item weekly, maybe more. I had it all. Like, seriously, for an only child with a mom working, a crap job in a factory, you name it, I had it. Megazords, all of them. Command Center, all the Rangers in every size, automorphin flip heads, regular karate action, movie edition, coloring books, the game, all kinds of shit, board game, playing cards, stickers. She went nuts, and I had it all, and I had a great memory of it. I stuck with anime, and I do to this very day. I have the VRV app, Gamepad 31, and I have access to Crunchyroll, and I want to watch older anime. I'm not, look, the channel would never become an anime channel. We'll put it like this: we are anime friendly. If you're into it, I'd like to know what you're into, why you're into it, and let's find some common ground type of situation. But I've been wanting to watch older stuff because I like the hand drawn style, and I don't dig the overly fantastical, V for victory, haha shit. I like the older, darker anime. If I'm going to watch it, I want to watch what's that one? Gotcha Man, where they all die in the one episode. I'll watch older shit. Dergio Duke asks, what got you into comics? Were you led there by a certain cartoon or something else? Well, I love to tell a story. I was introduced to comics by my mom. So my mom, and this would have been early 90s. I can't remember. I always remember having it. She bought me a tape from Avon called Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk. One side was one videotape, but the box had two separate sides. The Spider-Man was Spider-Man versus Doctor Doom, Master of the Universe, and this is before the Masters of the Universe show existed, I believe. And then there was, because this is from the Spider-Man cartoon from 1981, and the Incredible Hulk show from the same time, and it was called The Secret Identity of the Hulk or some shit like that. So I remember getting that or having that tape always. And then I had an Incredible Hulk bath set, and you're thinking, what would the Hulk bath set be? It was weird. It was this head that you put over a bath faucet, and then I had the old Hasbro or the old Toy Biz toys. So that really got me into the comics because I had coloring books. I had comic books as a kid, and that's really I had regular books. I learned how to read traditionally, but I also kept reading through the comic books. The only thing that sucked about being my age getting into comics was it was during the image craze of the 90s when everything was extreme and the heroes weren't the heroes. So that's why I don't like certain characters. Like I wanted to be into Superman more, but when I tried to get the books as a kid, it was the death of Superman, it was Eradicator and Steel and Superboy. I'm like, where's Superman? And then he had a mullet, which I was okay with for a while because it was Superman, but that's what it is. And then what got me into the art part, I always liked to draw, and I would always draw superheroes. I had How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. Again, my mom bought me that book in 2001, and I was really excited for the Spider-Man movie. And I bought the book, I drew, and I've been drawing ever since then regularly. So all that combined got me into it. And I've had, a couple projects pre-Stealing Solo, but Stealing Solo is the first big one. And so I told you guys, here's a little update. So I posted an update about sending the final batch to the colorist as soon as I'm done. I'm almost there. But I had told you if you backed the book, I would give you anthology, which I did. But because of the delay, I got somebody else to color the pages, so you don't get a black and white, you get a full color story, multiple stories actually. And I got all those pages back, and it looks awesome. I am put it like this, it's old artwork, but I am really proud to show you guys because it is so much better in color. So that's a big bonus you guys are going to get real soon. But Dergio Duke, that is what got me into it. And I've always found cartoons and stuff that I've stuck with through the years. I got into Lupin the Third when I was about 15, still like it to this day. Found Golgo 13, still like it. There's something about animated art that I enjoy. If I knew how to do animation, I'd be involved with it, but I don't. So I had to draw, and I'll stick with it with comics. I remember the 03 TMNT reboot. I had no problem with that. I thought it looked awesome. I wasn't watching it because I was 15 at the time and going to high school. And, I was never the biggest Ninja Turtles kid, but I did respect the show. Trying to find stuff from Manga Entertainment. Also try Bubblegum Crisis. I can recommend more of 80s and 90s. Well, so sorry, Japan. I'm always open to recommendations. I want to get more into Fist of the North Star. I watched all the clips on YouTube of him saying something like, "You've met your end," and then the guy explodes after like the couple touches he does. I was like, this looks crazy. So that's a show I might want to get into. I also, Ninja Blade, I've never seen, or Ninja Scroll. Some of the violent anime, I don't watch it for the gore. I just have seen it over the years, and it sticks with you because you're like, what is this? Cartoons are more than Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Let's see. Superman had a mullet. Yes, Bjorn, Superman had a mullet. Let me pull up a picture of that. Let's see if I can find one real quick. Let's see. Superman mullet. It's sad, though, when you type in Superman M, the first thing that pops up is Superman mustache. I don't have a problem with Henry Cavill. I really don't. But, oh, God, Superman did have a mullet. Reset. There we go. Just a second, folks. There's the damn it. Print screen. Why won't this get bigger? Boop. All right, come on. For some reason, this doesn't want. There it goes. Finally. Sorry. I'm having a boomer moment. I'm not even a boomer. God damn it, Ethan. So, yeah, here you go. Bjorn, Superman did have a mullet. There you go. I think that's Dan Jurgens' artwork. So this is what Superman looked like when I was a kid. I was not necessarily opposed to it, but I wasn't in love with it. I have an action figure based on the Superman. I actually thought about buying a new one recently just to have it in the box. It's just called like Superman Man of Steel. The commercial said, "Don't mess with the S." It was terrible, but it was 95, and I really liked it. I think for my 6th or 7th birthday, I went to Toys R Us with like $25 for my grandma, and I bought Superman, Superboy, and then the Superman Eradicator Doomsday 2-pack. I played with those quite a bit. I used to try to build a decent superhero collection. I already had Batman and Spider-Man, and it's weird. I like X-Men, but I only had Cyclops. My mom would have bought me more, but I take it back. I had a brown-suited Wolverine and a Magneto to go with my Cyclops figures. I had 2. I had X-Force Cyclops with the white and blue suit, and then I had the Jim Lee design, which is the greatest comic book suit ever made. Debate me, please. Yeah, there we go. Yes, I did see that the creator of Lupin the Third Monkey Punch passed away, Lokta. I did. Trencher, 1375, thank you very much. Fist of the North Star is awesome. Dude, I'm with you, man. At Toy Fair, or was it some... comic show or something, they announced a Fist of the North Star action figure. And I thought I might get that just because I love like that style of Japanese art, 80s. There's something about the 80s in general. It was like let's play a game. Maybe there was this weird creative spark in the air, but think of all the great shit that came from the 80s. And you could say, well, think of all the bad stuff. Yes, that's true. Politically, it was a pretty bad decade, but creatively, we had some really awesome stuff come out. That's why I think we could actually go back to making good stuff, but the people that are creative, well, let's put it like this, the creatives in quotation marks aren't really that creative, if that makes sense. You got these people that are trying to do these self-insert stories. Ethan talks about it all the time. And I'm not saying this because Ethan's my friend or, we're all part of the High Council, but he gets it. He knows how to create entertainment in this climate. He knows how to give people what they want. I believe I do too with the success of this channel. I mean, in a way you want to escapist entertainment, and in a way you also want to think about stuff. But you don't want to be beat over the head. They Live is the perfect example of entertaining political commentary wrapped up inside of a good story. If you're going to do that, do what we do and make woke busters. That'll make you laugh at least. That's all I can say. Let's see. Anthony Mata, welcome back. Anime suggestion. Ranma 1/2. Teenage rom-com with martial arts action. Very old school. Check out the synopsis list. I know that show. I'm taking a screenshot of your recommendation so I don't forget. But I know that that is on Crunchyroll for one of the streaming services I have. That might be on Hulu. That might actually just straight up be on Hulu. And I know about the character. I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. Check out the movie Akira. You'll love it. I'm well aware of Akira. I read the first manga novel. I mean, okay, there's a big collected edition from a couple years ago that I saw. It's really big. It's like not the size of a phone book, but like half of a phone book, but it's the same height. And I read most of that in one sitting at a bookstore while waiting on my mom to shop, and I loved it. Let's see. I'll debate you, Jeff, and raise you a Jim Lee Rogue leather jacket. LOL says Dark Pierce. I love to debate the perfection of Jim Lee's X-Men costumes. Well, one thing I will say from a fan standpoint, I'm glad that these companies realize that you can milk nostalgia by making Jim Lee X-Men figures. My friend Ryan, or our friend, because he's a friend of the channel, sent us a Rogue figure, which is awesome. But Jim Lee Cyclops, I can't give it to Wolverine because he didn't really design the Wolverine suit. The Tiger Stripe existed before, and then you had the brown one when Jim Lee took over. But I mean, I don't know how much Gambit was created by Jim Lee either. Maybe none. I digress. Anyway, I'm all about the Jim Lee suits. Commander Pluto, missed your last stream, but I was still able to watch it later on yesterday for my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Commander Pluto, and thank you for watching the stream. By last stream, I guess, do you mean the High Council, or do you mean like the one I was on with the Toy Collector Hangout, which was a lot of fun? I'm glad you caught it, though, and thank you. And I hope you have a good birthday. I don't know how old you are, but if you're old enough, go have a beer if you're into that sort of thing. Have some fun and relax. I tell that to everybody. If it's your birthday and you're an adult, you work every day, why not enjoy it? I know my friends and I all do. Alpha Terra Nima, thank you very much. Speaking of old school anime, and since KOTM is in 2 weeks, King of the Monsters, the follow-up to Terror of Mechagodzilla got translated. Look up Meister Titano. Okay. I'm going to take a screenshot of that too. I do love I know everyone says kaiju monsters, and that's the proper name, but I just call them Godzilla movies. It's just fun. But I'll check that out. Our friend Darren, who's a big supporter of the channel, sent me one of it's like a TV show. It's not Jet Jaguar. It's a version of Ultraman, but it's like super violent where he kills these monsters, and we watched it. It's ridiculous. He like throws one into a power line and explodes, cuts one of the heads. It's just so weird and bizarre. And I absolutely loved it. I love watching Japanese stuff. Even if some of it's not translated, I'll watch the shit out of it. And you know what else I like to watch? It's not Japanese, but it's live action kind of, is the show called Thunderbirds. It's like Marionation, where it's marionette puppets and like real explosions and ships. It's cool. If you guys haven't watched it, it's on the VRV streaming app. Thunderbirds. I'm going to show you a picture. Well, no, it's too hokey. Just watch it. Just go out and watch Thunderbirds. Cineverf653, welcome back to the channel. Jeff, you should watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's a great anime. Well, I'll take a screenshot of that too. I'll check it out. I'm open to watching all kinds of stuff. Right now, though, I made a promise to our friend Obi-Wan27883. I have to watch Lord of the Rings first. I'm going to take a day when I'm completely done with the book and it's at the colorist and I got everything else taken care of for the channel. I think I'll go over to Phil's because Phil has a pretty nice sound setup, and I'll go watch Lord of the Rings with him. Plus, he's a huge fan. So I'll go do it the right way. Oh, there's some love for Thunderbirds. Cool. I used to watch that on, I think it was Tech TV or G4 or some shit. And I would catch it, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I know that it's hokey, but it's from a bygone era. And if you put that out, people would complain how racist it is and whatever. Look, I don't condone any sort of racism or garbage like that. But old stuff, it comes from an era where that was the norm. I'm not saying it's good that it was the norm, but you can't change the past. Warner Brothers put out their old cartoons that were considered racially insensitive, and they put out a disclaimer. And I think the disclaimer is the best thing to do. You can't act like it didn't happen, but at the same time, I don't think you should elevate and praise it either. So, shout out to Warner Brothers. Let's just hope you guys don't drop the ball with everything. Trencher1375 says, Lord of the Rings, 1 is great, 2 good, 3 okay. I've heard that the Two Towers is like the big one with the fight that everybody likes, but I will watch all 3 extended and I will get back with you, guaranteed. And I'll let you know what I thought about each one. I have heard of the Zatachi movies. That's the Blind Swordsman, right? There's somebody in the chat, usually Zatachi's cane sword. So, yeah, Zatachi is the blind samurai, and then there's Wolf and Cub and something else. They're not the same. They're different, but, one's a manga, one's a movie. Jeff, are you excited for It Chapter 2? Asks Alec Munoz. Well, Alec Munoz, thank you very much. Yeah, like seriously, I don't get to talk a lot about horror, and I don't because, let's be honest, the Fandom Menace is not a horror-based thing. Maybe around Halloween you guys want to get involved, but overall it's not necessarily a horror thing. But that trailer got me so excited. I was actually kind of tense watching it too. I'm like, what's up with this old lady? And then I looked at the picture and you saw Pennywise dance around. Well, not Pennywise dance around, but anyway, you saw the shit in the trailer and you're thinking to yourself, oh, this is going to be good. And then you think about how good the first one was. You got the same kids. You got these great adult actors. I think horror needs a renaissance of quality. And I know people are thinking, that sounds a little pretentious. Well, hear me out. I like these movies. I like the dark and the macabre. I like all these things. And I think a lot of you guys do too. But you get a lot of these independent creators making these schlocky horror movies that don't make a good story. Here's the thing. A lot of them don't have the budget for good effects, so they can't do good kills. So they try to use violence, or they try to have a lot of cussing, bad scripting, and some nudity of some very untalented actresses. And the movies are shot like dog shit, and you got all these things. They populate Netflix. They're an embarrassment. With It, you had a really great story. You had essentially like a horror Goonies. Like all the kid actors did a great job. All of them, seriously. Even the ones like Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things. He's a good actor. He's cool. The girl was good. The other kid played Ben. They were all, entertaining. They all did a better job than the kids from the 90s version, and they were all really solid. That elevated it to me. Plus, it was shot beautifully. It looked great. And the effects were awesome. And Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård did a great job. If you combine that with this new trailer, I'm excited. And I think we could use a referential, that's not the right phrase, just a respectful look at other horror franchises. I'm not saying I advocate for remakes, but if, let's say hypothetically, you have to remake like a Nightmare on Elm Street, do it real scary. Don't worry about all these other things. Don't worry about, whatever. Make it scary. Make it psychological. Make it violent. Make it all these things. But just treat it with respect and get a good filmmaker. Put a little money behind it, and you can build a new franchise if you have to. Other than that, though, just make good, scary horror films. Where was I at? I've heard of The Guyver. That's what I wanted to talk about. Dank Lobos. I've heard of The Guyver with Mark Hamill. Well, he's in the movie at least. Maybe there's an anime or a manga, but Oh, let's see, Jeff. If you had to say your best Cartoon Network comic anime is What would you list? My favorites are Justice League 2001, Batman Beyond, Teen Titans, X Shock. Oh, you mean like the Warner Brothers shows Excalibur? If you're just saying straight up Warner Brothers, because like I love Justice League, that was a great show. I would throw that up there towards the top. Now, do we get to throw in Batman the Animated Series? Because that's going to be the best for me. But all the shows you listed, I like. I didn't really watch Teen Titans, so I can't give you that nod. But Batman Beyond, Justice League, Static Shock, Superman the Animated Series, I watched all those. It's funny, for as much as I'm a Marvel guy, a lot of my childhood was spent with DC properties. That's why I have a soft spot for the Bruce Timm art style and a lot of the stories. Commander Pluto, thank you very much again. If you haven't seen Bacano, a great anime, I can't recommend it enough. I've heard of Bacano because I laugh because it sounds like bacon, so I had no clue what it is, but I'll check it out. I'll take another screenshot. It's funny, you guys are going to get me to watch all this anime and Lord of the Rings and shit. I'm going to come back a new man. I'll be like, yeah, Spider-Man's great, but have you seen Bacano? Yeah, man. It's just going to be, I'm going to be a changed guy. What's wrong with nudity and horror? Sometimes it works. Dude, it always works. I'm not saying I don't want it in there, but like in Halloween, Linda, takes off her shirt, but it's a great story. To me, if you want to create a movie that is actually worth a damn, you have it in there, but you also have another reason. Like, I hate the Friday the 13th movies, but I get people go for the kills and the over-the-top nature, especially, part 6, when Jason kills the guy in the RV, and it flips over, and he comes out and is playing the Alice Cooper song or whatever. I get that. Some people would call that trash. I call it entertainment. But when you get these other found footage, like I watched this thing called like The Haunting on Sorority Row, and that movie was just dog shit. Like even the hot women in the movie could not save it. So it's quite interesting to see the range of that. What else we got here? You like the High Council? Thank you very much, Planet Musk Vlog. I had a great time doing it. Jason Liz is awesome. Jason Liz, is that part 6? Yeah, that's sick. Duh, I just brought it up. Yeah, that movie is pretty kick-ass. I like 7 too. 8, no, man. Jason Takes Manhattan is stupid. That is dumb. Oh. So, Sleepbag Kill Part 7 was my favorite Jason kill in the series. Well, Joe K470, remember, that's cut out in the movie. There's deleted scenes of the entire kill. It's way more intense, but it gets to a point where it's funny, like RoboCop. I used to see that movie as a kid and get terrified by the violence, but then as an adult you realize it's meant to be funny, and you're like, oh, I kind of get it now. Especially the Ed 209, right? Yeah, that's what it's called. When he shoots the guy, he's like, I'm complying, and he shoots him and kills him in the Omni Consumer Products boardroom. It's a humorous thing. Now, the part where RoboCop gets killed, or Alex Murphy, that is not humorous. That is hard to watch. I don't like that scene at all. Ugh. No, thank you. I'm old enough to actually prefer Wendy and Marvin and Wonder Dog to the Wonder Twins and Greek. Oh, Dirgio Duke. I watched enough Super Friends on Cartoon Network as a kid to understand that reference. So, let's see. Should we invite Kendo to close? We got 30 minutes left of the show. Should we have Kendo on and have an interesting discussion? Let's see if we see a tank tread of ones, we can do that. Well, bro, Paulo Creed, you're right. I'm not supposed to enjoy it, but I can't even look at it. It's just too over the top. It's just, ugh. Oh, thank you. Beep boop, bring on beep boop. I always think about Rocky 3 hit me harder. Oh, when Mick died, I really like. I love Rocky 1, 2, and 3. I love 4. I like 5. I hate Balboa. I like. Haven't seen the Creeds, but I want to watch them. It's funny. The older I get, the more I like Sylvester Stallone. I really do think he's got more substance than people give him credit for. That's all I can say. Okay, we're seeing a lot of ones. All right, I'm going to send them the link. We'll see where this conversation goes. Guys, this has been an awesome morning. I want to tell everybody thank you for sticking with us the entire time. What the hell happened? Sorry, my tabs got out of order. So, if only Jessie Milestone was still alive, we'd, or not alive, awake. Ooh, that was dark. If she was still awake, we'd shoot her a link too. Down the road, I would not mind a Good Morning Pop Culture call-in show, Zoo Crew type of thing. Could be fun. We'll get there. Like I said, the channel keeps on growing. Let's see. Micah D2 says, try Cowboy Bebop and Gundam Wing. Oh, Micah, I own Cowboy Bebop on Blu-ray, the entire series. And I have it on good authority that I might have ordered the Spike Spiegel SH Figure Arts action figure on Amazon last night because I like that show quite a bit. So I'm a Cowboy Bebop fan. You don't have to sell me on that show at all. Love the artwork, love the design work, and it looks great on Blu-ray. Shout out to my buddy Dan who picked up that movie. Don't forget Rambo from 2013. Awesome. Well, Alec, I think that Rambo movie is actually from 2008. The really bloody one. It's 08 or 09 because I'm positive I saw it at Michigan State. I went with this girl and we were watching it and she was like, ooh, and I'm sitting there like going, yeah, like when he takes the 50 cal and turns on the guy in the Jeep and he turns the meat. I just never expected it to be so violent, but holy shit, was it intense. I'm telling Jesse you killed her. LOL says Dr. Kaufman. I was, yes, I'll take the blame. She'll message me today. What the hell, man? I thought we were friends. I go, yeah, I thought we were too, but it was an accident. My God, Jesse was just streaming last night, and now she's Samurai Champloo. That's the next line after the message you sent, Planet Musk blog. I love the chat. Let's see. Gerhardt, I didn't realize I was lagging. Sorry, guys. I have full internet bars. Where are we at? Let's see. Jesse Milestone has risen from the grave. We had so much fun hanging out in Chicago, all of us. The one night we went to dinner with Ethan was awesome. Our friend Andy was there. He's a listener. He's a super big fan of the Fandom Menace. Folks, he had the coolest Fandom Menace shirt. He had this shirt that said the Fandom Menace, and they had the picture of Ahsoka on it, and it said that Star Wars girl. And on the back, it had Geeks and Gamers, Comic Artists Pro Secrets, World Class Bullshitters. And he made the shirt himself. It looked awesome. And Andy was fun, too. We got to meet another guy who hung out with us for a little bit named Dylan. He's usually in the chat. He was a lot of fun, too. I mean, Star Wars Celebration was a great time. I don't advocate you throwing money into Disney for Star Wars and all this shit. You do what you want to do. But if you ever get a chance to come with the Fandom Menace, like the YouTubers are going to be, come hang out. It's so much fun. Like the meet and greet we had in Chicago. Oh my God. I wish everyone would have been there. There are a lot of listeners out there I want to meet, and it would have been a lot of fun to have more people. We were honestly packed wall to wall. It couldn't have fit more people in the bar. Shout out to our buddy at Patty Mac's Pub and Grill for hooking us up with that place. That was awesome of you. Thank you. Oh, so sorry, Japan. There is a Tales from the P.O. Box. I don't know if I told this on the High Council or was it now. I have my other cars getting. I bought a Jeep for my cousin, and I need to get brakes on it because it wasn't an expensive car, but I need more space. And I have some of the packages in there. I was trying to wait to get the car back so I could do everything at once, but it might be a little bit. So I'm looking to just wait, and then I'll do it. I got all the packages here. I'm going to open them up. I'm trying to film it on Sunday. So if you check it out, folks, it might be out of order, but I will get it done. What up, Kendo?
Howdy.
What's new?
Not much. Just got up, just been hanging out, doing some stuff around the house, and waiting to be a part of Good Morning Political Correctness.
There we go. That's what the G.M.P. stands for, folks. So, you're excited for the It Chapter 2 trailer, right?
Yeah, of course I am. You saw how stoked I was for that movie the first time around after I saw it.
Yeah, it's oh my God. I haven't seen a better horror movie in theaters in years.
Yeah, I agree. Because we weren't going to do it for the show, and then you and Nick went and saw it, and were talking glowingly about it to each other in our private chat thing. And I had a Saturday afternoon. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see this movie. And I went and watched it, and I left that theater a changed person. I'm like, holy shit! They did horror right.
Yeah, I was pumped, man. I want more, but at the same time, I'd rather wait to have something great be made. I don't want them to rush it out.
Right. Yeah. When it ended and it's like, end of part 1 or whatever, I was like, well, that obviously, because I've seen the first one. I've read the book. I know that this is a lot longer. There's more to go with this, but I was so happy to see that it was going to take them a good 2 years to get the next part out, and it wasn't coming spring. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, they didn't rush them to film them back to back.
Right.
By the way, Gamepad 31, I contacted Subversive Jake, the creator of Ryan the Boatmaker, New Year's Eve. I wanted to tell him what I do is if I live stream with another YouTuber, I try to tell him thanks, like I tell them thanks after they appear on the show, and then I'll say like at the end of the year, because this was, I was like, hey, I want to tell you thanks for helping us out, blah blah blah, and I've never heard back. The opportunity is still open. If he wants to get involved, we can get all the YouTubers on the Fandom Menace to record audio parts. We can put it together. We got a couple of friends who do animation. We can make it happen. It's up to him. The ball is in his court. So if he hears this, if you tweet him, we would love to have Subversive Jake on the show and to make that happen. And by the way, folks, again, since I'm always trying to give you guys great live shows to catch, I talked to Robot Head, and he's coming back. So be prepared for that. He was a highly requested member on the High Council, and now Robot Head will return very soon. So we've talked, we've agreed, and scheduling for now, it might be sooner than you think. So, Kendo, everyone says your icon is Thanos. He let himself go.
Yeah, that's Big Mac Attack Thanos.
Commander Pluto says, oh no, it's Grimnos.
Yeah. Snaps his fingers and half the Big Macs disappear.
That's kind of good for everybody, isn't it?
Not if it goes disappearing into his gut.
Oh, he's like that pig from Power Rangers. Every Big Mac he eats, a little picture appears on his belly. Oh, that's a stretch mark for him.
Yeah, well, nothing can kill the Grimnos.
Thank you for that reference. Kendo, we have a question. What are your thoughts on Star Trek The Next Generation?
A show I've never watched.
Okay. So, Existent David, what you'll want to do is catch one of our shows with Dion. Dion loves Star Trek The Next Generation. Joel loves Star Trek The Next Generation. Joel's our friend. You can catch, if you catch Dion on a live stream, ask him because he'll go on. Now, I've seen it. I don't really like it as much as I like the original show. To me, it's a little more boring. Picard's awesome. I had a Picard figure as a kid. I thought he was so neat. But I'm all about Captain Kirk and Spock and McCoy and all the original crew and the over-the-top nature of Star Trek.
Yeah, I've tried to do Star Trek. I maybe should give it another try because it's been a very long time. But I've tried to do Star Trek. I've just never gotten into it.
Yeah, there's just something about the camp factor that's like, to me, old Star Trek reminds me of the Twilight Zone in a way. I'm not saying just because of the William Shatner crossover, but there's something about the tone of certain, the way they look at humanity in a futuristic way, like what they think the future would be like. It's from a specific lens, and I like that in entertainment. I don't necessarily get that from modern day. Like, I don't like Black Mirror. I watch it. I think it was great in the beginning, and then it got the dog shit when it came to Netflix, and that's the problem I have with a lot of entertainment. What do you think of Stargate, Kendo?
It's all right. I watched it. Used to watch it with my buddy Lunchbox. He was huge in Stargate, so whenever I was over at his house and it was on, we'd watch it. I never had a problem with it, but it was something I never actually went out of my way to watch. I probably should have because I did like it when I was watching it, but again, it's nothing I've ever actually sat down and religiously went through.
I saw the movie recently. Pretty good.
Yeah, the movie's fun. That's Kurt Russell, right?
And James Spader, a.k.a. Wow, Ultron. I couldn't even think of it. I almost called him Thanos. I was like, wait, that's Josh Brolin.
Yeah, this has a different guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like some of the sci-fi shows, and I don't mean like Sci-Fi the Channel, just like science fiction shows in general. I used to watch, what's the not Stargate? What's the other one? Farscape with Joel. Joel and I used to watch Farscape. That was pretty decent with Claudia Black. She's good looking. And what was his name? Ben Barnes or something like that. Could Captain Kirk take Thanos in a fight, Kendo?
I'm going to have to go with no.
Well, Random Nerd of Doom wanted to know. I'm going to go with no as well. Well, remember, Captain Kirk did fight the Gorn. So
yeah, but, I mean, Thanos, were you talking gauntlet or no gauntlet Thanos?
Either way, Captain Kirk's getting the shit pushed in. Let's be honest.
Probably. Yeah, I was going to say, it's just a matter of how long it's going to take.
Ben Browder's the guy's name from Farscape. Thank you, folks. I knew it was Ben something. Ben
Stein.
Benjamin Franklin. Do you remember when Ben Stein's Money?
Yeah, I love that show.
I would pay for a streaming service if it had that on there.
Oh yeah, when Ben Stein's Money, I used to watch that. That was one of the shows I made sure I caught each week or tried to, back in the days before DVR, because it was just a fun game show. And it was back when Jimmy Kimmel was actually himself and not this fake version that's out there now.
Yeah, I can't stand Jimmy Kimmel. When we were on the council last night, I usually keep a TV on with no noise, just for something to keep my mind, whatever.
Right.
And Jimmy Kimmel Live came on. I turned it off right away. I went to a Perry Mason rerun from 1957.
That's a good choice.
Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. But it was cool. It had I think his name's Alan Hale Jr., aka the Skipper from Gilligan's Island, and it also had DeForest Kelly, aka Leonard McCoy from Star Trek.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really weird because this was 10 years before Star Trek, and he looks pretty much the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, old Perry Mason over anything Jimmy Kimmel, any of the late night shows, you're doing okay for yourself.
See, I enjoyed Perry Mason before. I think we had the podcast, but before it became like a channel, before you were listening, at least, well, before you knew me personally, every night I would watch Perry Mason at 11:30. That's all I would care about. I would do what I had to do in the day and then watch Perry Mason and go to bed.
Yeah, that's on Me TV or whatever it is, isn't it? Or
Yep, we get that here.
Yeah, one of those channels that just shows the old shit all the time. Yeah, Perry Mason comes on, and then you got Twilight Zone, and I think that Night Gallery comes on after that.
That's exactly how the order is here too.
Yeah, as I say, so every once in a while I'll do that because I cut the cord back. Shit, I don't know, 5-6 months ago, because it was funny. My dad and I were actually having the conversation yesterday because he has recently switched satellite providers, and I was like, yeah, I don't have anything, because he was like seeing he's like, yeah, you switch over, you could save money. I'm like, I don't have it. He's like, what do you do? What do you watch? I'm like, well, I've got a bunch of digital stuff downloaded on my computer for the movies and stuff. I watch just TV shows, movies, or I just watch antenna TV, and there's some decent. You find some gems. Like hell, there was one day where I sat around and watched Frasier for 6 hours. I mean, I that which is fine with me because I liked Frasier.
To reiterate for our friend MCOC Josh, I thought the new It trailer was excellent. Kendo agrees.
Oh yeah.
We will be here.
Give me the tingles.
Here's something cool for you guys. We're gonna go see it. We'll all be together. We're gonna give you guys a live review on camera. So that'll be the night of its release. So we have Horror Hound that we have to go to. Well, we choose to go to. We have the show to attend. Then we're gonna go see that, and then we'll be live with a review Friday night, and then Saturday, come to the show, hang out with us, meet and greet. We'll talk. We'll do more of it, but we'll gladly cover it. I told you this, Kendo, but I didn't tell the listeners. I was so intrigued by that trailer, I instantly put on it the 1991 or 1990 version, and watched the entire thing just because I was so excited for that trailer.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's a good choice to do. That's a good option, because I know as soon as I saw that trailer and it showed the date, I immediately messaged you guys and was like, "Hey, that trailer," or because I think I sent you guys the trailer.
Yep.
And then it was like, "Oh my god, that looks awesome." I was like, "By the way, that comes out on September 6th. That just so happens to be the first day of Horror Hound, so we will all be in the same place to watch it together."
Well, I have some good news for you.
What's that?
That's a channel expense.
Oh,
there you go. So
I get to save $10.
Yeah, and I think popcorn's a channel expense too.
Oh fuck it. Well, I mean, naturally. Hopefully they got those like really fancy like buckets and cups.
All for it.
We might have to channel expense that too, because because we need to have something to set in the background while we're doing the review.
Let's see, Indianapolis movie theaters. Let's see what they got in terms of where we're going to be staying. There's an AMC Indianapolis. There's 3 AMCs in near downtown, so we're good.
Oh yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll go. It'll be a lot of. Oh, we could go to a United Artists theater.
It's fine with me too.
Actually, we'll just go to AMC. I'll get my points.
AMC. Yeah, go to the AMC.
Yes, Gerhard, I've watched Bill Burr's F is for Family. Every episode, I think the show's great. Have you seen it, Kendo?
I have not.
You should watch it. It's on Netflix.
Well, as soon as that wire gets another quarter of a mile down the road, I might have to get Netflix.
It's going to be happening soon, dude.
I know. Every day, I get one more poll. There's only so many poles between me and that line. Gap is shrinking.
Our friend Sleepy says Frasier is great, but Gunsmoke is better.
I don't really know how you can compare the two because they're two very different types of TV shows. Not to say that there's anything wrong with Gunsmoke or Frasier, because I do like both shows, but one's a Western and the other is a sitcom.
And I've only seen a select few episodes of each.
Yeah, it'd be like saying, well, I mean, The Kids in the Hall is a great show, but it's no Ghostbusters. It's like you can't really compare the two. They're two very different things. They're both great, but you can't really say one is better than the other in a comparative, argumentative sense.
Black Angus Reviews says, Hail Jeff. Black Angus Reviews, happy birthday to you, dude. Folks, check out Black Angus Reviews channel. He just crossed 1,000 subscribers, thanks to all of you out there. So I'm very excited for him. Now he's monetized, and he is going to have me on his channel tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're excited to get more of me with a different setting, well, be prepared. I'm going to be there.
Yes, so go listen.
Yeah. But it's going to be Horror Hound's going to be fun. I like these shows. We don't do horror shows because we're trying to like get into the horror community.
No.
Horror shows are more open as opposed to a comic convention where you have anime people and like families, and people are like, oh, you can't say this. Horror shows, people drink and do whatever they want to do, and we kind of fit in with that.
Right. I mean, the horror shows is essentially an excuse for us to get to hang out and drink together for a weekend and meet people.
Yeah. Meeting people's dude, we have so much fun at these shows.
Oh, dude, you want to know something funny? Not to bring it back to wrestling. So, have you seen? All right, so the new Firefly Fuckhouse thing.
I saw it. Yes.
So you know that mask that he was wearing?
Mm-hmm.
So Tom Savini made that mask.
Yeah.
I know the guy that drew it.
Really?
Yes, I know that. There's a guy I know. I don't want to name drop him or do anything like that right at the moment, just because I'm not sure if he'd be cool with that. I mean, he probably would be, because I've referred. He's a guy I know. He's a tattoo artist. He's like won awards and stuff for it. Well, he's the one that's done Randy Orton's tattoos.
Oh,
and
okay.
He's worked with Bray, and him and Bray, or whatever his name is, something Rotunda. I don't remember what his real name is. Kayfabe, bro. So him and Bray, they actually are palsy with each other now, and he's the one that drew the concept art for that mask that Tom Savini's people created. It was weird because I saw like that. My Facebook feed was that post days before the Firefly Funhouse thing, and it was just like this, blah 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 blah. It's in Tom Savini's office right now, and this and that and the other thing. And then I saw the clip of the Firefly Funhouse. I'm like, holy shit! I know the guy that drew that.
I love those segments.
Yeah. But now I guess he's all creepy and evil again.
People want us to do a Tales from the Crypt stream. We did it once, folks.
Ooh. Yeah, because now I've got the Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah,
I can be a part of it.
We'll work it out. We might do something bigger for Patreon as well. Maybe we can't commit to all the episodes, but maybe we can commit to some of the best episodes from each season.
The best of the best of the best.
Of the few and the proud.
That's right.
People want to hug Thanos Grimace because he looks so cuddly.
He does look like a really nice guy. Maybe we should make we get a Thanos Grimace costume and put it on D-Hun.
I'd be okay with that. I don't know if he would, but I don't care.
Shit, hell, I'd even wear a Thanos Grimace costume.
Be hilarious.
Yeah, nothing can kill the Grimace.
Rhino4563 says, good morning, Jeff. Speaking of wrestling, you see AEW just signed a TV deal with TNT Turner.
Yeah, we talked. I mentioned that to you guys, I think a week or so ago, because everyone wants to make that joke. Oh, they're just a T-shirt company. Well, not anymore, apparently.
Well, yeah, TNT Drama officially tweeted it out today.
Yeah.
I love the tweet because it's got it's on Facebook, so people posted a picture of the tweet, but it's got a caption and it says, and a good morning to you, sir. And then it just says, TNT Drama, we're back in the wrestling business.
I'm excited for it. Isn't their pay-per-view this week?
Next week. This weekend's Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah. So this week is probably a shitty one, and then next week will be a good one. So mark your calendars. Wait, is that on Sunday the 26th?
No, Saturday the 25th.
I think either way I'm available that evening. I might have to go and pay-per-view that baby.
Yeah, I'm going to Phil's house. We're going to have a party and watch it. We're all going to
Yeah. Maybe I should put the all call out, put an Eagle call out there for everybody in the area to see if anybody wants to chip in and go sit someplace and watch it with me.
You should. If I lived closer, I would. I really am genuinely pumped for this. I just want I basically want to love everything I'm into. Like, I'm trying to think. Like 2002, before it got too late into the year, we had a good Spider-Man flick. Well, Star Wars wasn't that hot, but Bond was good. Comics were good. I want to get into that. I want to find a nice happy medium for all the entertainment I like. But
Right. I agree because we've had the conversation before in regards to wrestling. My whole keeping up on wrestling right now is literally just listening to the one podcast I listen to. That's the weekly review, a couple others. So essentially Monster and What's Wrong with Wrestling is how I keep up on wrestling these days. Well, occasionally I'll listen to John Pollock and Wai Ting, depending on how much time I have during the week. But other than that, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I checked out of wrestling when I looked at New Orleans in the rearview mirror after WrestleMania 34. I was like, I just have no interest in this anymore. It's just is completely nadered out for me. I maybe watched a SmackDown or a Raw since then occasionally, but every time I see what they're putting out there, I'm like, God, this is awful. This is just complete garbage. And then AEW came along and maybe we'll get good wrestling shows again.
that's all I want, man. I just want to be entertained. I want it with everything, folks.
Yeah. Are we not entertained? No.
I went to a Monday Night Raw last Monday, and it was difficult to sit through.
Yeah.
But the seat was comfortable, so I can't complain.
And the tickets were free.
The tickets were free. Dan's mom. Shout out to Dan's mom. Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah, I think there's supposed to be something coming to St. Louis here before too long, and I got some friends who are like, "You guys want to go?" I'm like, "If I have to pay for it, no."
Win me tickets off the radio.
Yeah, as I say, are they free? Because if you got a free suite ticket, then yes, I will go. But I'm not paying to go see WWE right now.
No, there's so many things I would rather do than go to a wrestling show, like sleep.
Yeah, just sit on my ass and stare at the ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you got one of those spackle ceilings where it's kind of cool and kind of pointy if you touch it. So,
no, but I do need to finish painting in here, so I'd rather do that.
So would I.
Yeah, it'll be an all painter 3-way.
But was it? Wow.
Wow.
I fucking love that show. Don't you guys want to pay to see that all Whammon pay-per-view? I didn't even watch. What was it? Evolution, right? This was called.
Yeah, that was their response to getting shat on for Saudi Mania.
And as one of the few pay-per-views I didn't watch. I didn't even watch the last Saudi show though, or the Australian show. So I wasn't, picking on the ladies because I like ladies wrestling. I always have. It just depends who's wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, it's not like the women aren't the problem in a lot of these things. It's the media surrounding them. Like I said earlier, Kendo, in Endgame, the women's scene is getting a lot of negative attention, but when they did it in Infinity War, it was great.
Right? It's how you do it. It's how you present the product.
Yeah, they got to just have a better just presentation overall. You got to, if you really, here's the thing, entertainment industry, you think we need to have this talk about whatever, which we're kind of past it by decades, many decades. Women have led science fiction and regular franchises for decades before I was born. Women had action figures. Women wrestlers were doing all these big things. I mean, people talk about women wrestling now. Shit, did you know Cyndi Lauper was a manager of one of the biggest women wrestlers at the time? Wendy Richter in 1985. So, I mean, these things have already happened, but the quests for these firsts in entertainment, not just wrestling, but everywhere. Oh, we want our first Star Wars female lead. Well, Princess Leia was co-lead with Luke and Han. They all had top billing together at the same time. All these things have happened. And in our constant desire to be the first for something, we forget everything that came before. And honestly, it could be entertainment. It could be social. You just shit on the past and all the people that's actually sacrificed and suffered. Because all you are is some lazy dick in a room in front of a computer complaining. That's all you are.
That's right. And you still can't get laid.
Boom. Black Angus Review says, did y'all see Fighting with My Family? Strong female character before Captain Whammon released. Yet no feminist went. Probably because of the binary training.
I have not watched that one yet. That was definitely one of those, I'll wait till it comes out on home video before I go see that movie. I'm interested in it because I liked Paige the wrestler. I also liked Paige the private video star. But I was like, that one doesn't interest me enough to have to run out and see it.
Yeah, The Rock is in that movie, and I still didn't watch it.
Yeah. And you're a huge Rock mark.
The funny thing is, for as much as I'm a huge fan of The Rock as a wrestler, I don't care about his movies. Like, I think I would like him, but I don't have any desire to like. I'll see Hobbs and Shaw because I like Fast and Furious, but I don't want to go see. I didn't see Fighting with My Family. I didn't see Skyscraper. I didn't see Rampage. You know,
You've seen Skyscraper before. It's called Die Hard.
Well, it was better in 1988.
It's true.
So I just, you know, it's weird. I will buy his merchandise. I will travel the country to watch the guy wrestle, but I won't travel 10 miles to go watch his latest film.
No, I get you on that one. It's just, I mean, I would like to live the Rock's lifestyle. I'd like to wake up every morning at 4 o'clock and clang and bang and then eat like 10 pounds of buffalo a day and whatever the hell else he does. That sounds cool.
It does sound cool. I tried it with chicken once. Felt really shitty.
Yeah, I've done that before. I was like, I tried to do the Ultimate Warrior thing where you eat nothing but like rice and chicken for 2 weeks, and I felt like shit.
I've never taken it that far, but I know sometimes it's like, oh, I should eat, a more balanced diet.
Right. No, I've tried that before just because I want to see how awful you feel after, like The Machinist. So you remember Christian Bale in The Machinist? Yep. So in order to achieve that, each day he would eat half a can of tuna and an apple. And I tried doing that for about 3 days, and I wanted to die.
Well, I couldn't do that.
Well, I used to have summers off, so I would find things to do to entertain myself during the summer. And one day it was like, I'm going to try to see how long I can last on the Christian Bale Machinist diet. Yeah, it lasts about 3 days. And I was like, I'm going to start murdering toddlers if I don't eat something real.
Well, I'm glad you did eat something real.
I did. I went to McDonald's and crushed a 20-piece and a Big Mac. I was like, oh my God, I'm starving to death. I have to have McDonald's.
Carbs.
Yeah, when McDonald's sounds great, then you know you're starving yourself.
Oh, somebody in the chat, Joe K470, Ultimate Warrior, load the fuel into the rocket ship.
Oh, you see the plane coming, and the nose turns. Oh, fucking Ultimate Warrior. Talk about a bad promo.
What do you think Christian Bale's best movie before Batman was?
American Psycho.
Yeah, I agree with that. I absolutely love that movie. I might like American Psycho more than The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, easily.
But I don't know if I like the other ones more. I got to think about it. It's funny. I put these things out there and then I go, man, I got to really think about this to give an honest answer.
Right. If you take away the smoked pack of Reds and gravel truck voice thing that he got going on with when he's Batman, I think it would go up some points.
Yeah. The music's grown on me. I actually listen to those scores quite a bit in my car.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. The track Molossus, which is essentially the Dark Knight theme song that everybody knows. That music's pretty awesome. And I really do like his I guess maybe it's not that I think it's the best, but I got real used to his second suit in the Dark Knight, the one with all the armor plates.
Yeah.
I dug that suit. I'm glad they carried it over to the next film.
Yeah. I mean, I loved everything about Christian Bale's Batman except for the fucking dump truck voice. It's like, dude, just talk. Keaton didn't change his voice. Adam West didn't change his. That's the illusion of he's wearing a mask. You don't know who he is.
Well, Michael Keaton Batman. By the way, Girthy Gamer SD, shout out to you for saying Batman 89 for the win.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, we're not going to ever argue on that one. But no, Michael Keaton's voice changed. And it was awesome. It was like a subtle whisper. It's like, I'm not going to kill you. I want you to tell your friends about me.
He just dropped it an octave, but he didn't have to really, really go. I mean, imagine Michael Keaton. 110 pounds.
Don't you love how for the first couple of movies, like all the Keatons through George Clooney, and then the first Christian Bale, that I'm Batman was like a big deal, and nowadays they don't do it anymore.
No, it's like Bond and the gun barrel.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So I'm Batman from Batman when he's holding the guy over the thing, and then George Clooney's like, "Hi, Freeze, I'm Batman," and he nods his head like a fucking idiot, and then even Christian Bale does it when he rips Carmine Falcone out of the Jeep. He's like, "What are you?" "I'm Batman," and then flies up on the thing. I mean, those are cool moments. I hope we get that in the next one. I kind of don't want that to go away.
No, it's just one of those iconic phrases. It's one of those things like I'm Batman. And I'm Mr. Freeze. Chill.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
It's not a tuba. It's a freeze gun.
God damn it. That movie is so dumb.
Yes, it is. It's one of the few ones that I actually can't sit down and watch.
No.
I have to be in a special state of drunk and having, like, if we were sitting down at Horror Hound and we're like, let's watch Batman, and Robin, then I'd be like, what else is on? Okay, fine, let's watch it.
The only way I will willingly watch Batman and Robin, besides being drunk, is if we're watching Batman Forever first, so I can at least get through a Joel Schumacher Batman flick that I don't think sucks.
Yeah.
Batman Forever has some really good moments. It's not the best, but it has some good moments.
Yeah, the Bat wants to play, we'll play.
I'm trying to think. I've only seen Batman and Robin probably 5 times my entire life.
I'm thinking mine's around 2 when it first came out, and one time since then when I bought a DVD combo pack thing that was like all 4 of those Batman movies together. And I really only did it because it was $5 and I could get the original Batman.
Yeah, I would do. Okay, so we saw it when it first came out. I was like, Mom, please, can I see Batman and Robin? Because you didn't know it sucked. Batman Forever was great. I was 6 years old, going on 7 when that movie came out. So I was already on like this Batman high. And I went and saw it, and I was like, and then I don't remember watching it for years. And then I think we rented it once on tape. Didn't like it. And I remember going to Taco Bell and getting like the cups and all the shit too.
Yeah. Taco Bell had all the gear.
And then in college, I watched it with Dion, and I think that was the last time I watched it. No, I watched it one time when it was on Netflix.
Yeah, I didn't even see that one in theaters because I saw Batman Returns in theaters and I saw Batman Forever in theaters. And then Batman and Robin, I didn't. I think I waited till it came out to rent. I rented it, watched it, was like, this is fucking terrible. And then I didn't watch it again until a few years ago when I bought that combo pack. I started watching it and I got to the part where Robin's diving and Mr. Freeze freezes him. And I'm just like, this sucks. I'll come back and deal with this later. And then I think I watched it like maybe 2 days after that. I finished it.
That's the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I know. That's how bad. That's. I was like, God, this is worse than I fucking remember it being.
Yeah, at least Joel Schumacher had the good sense to apologize for the movie.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, folks, if you're ever wondering what we're talking about, there's a Batman and Robin documentary where Joel Schumacher goes, if I hurt anyone or this, that, the other, he was kind of sincere too. He wasn't being a dick about it. He apologized for Batman and Robin. So,
right. He didn't need to apologize for it for me to feel better.
I still hate the movie.
We already know it sucks.
I do own 2 Batman figures from Batman and Robin. They're on my shelf.
Nice.
Yeah, there isn't a Batman. Well, if you count that, we have to because it's a theatrical release. The Mike or the Adam West one, but I have Batman from every movie, a figure of it at least. So, even Ben Affleck. The award goes to Michael Keaton though for most figures. I got how many? I got 1, 2, 3, 4 on this shelf, and whenever I have an actual just a Michael Keaton action figure. So he's Bruce Wayne, but it's Michael Keaton to me.
That's right.
Existent David says 1995 was a good movie year. Batman Forever, Jumanji, Toy Story, Judge Dredd, Power Rangers. What else came out in 1995? Because I'm going to agree with you that you're on your statement that 95 was a good year, and I liked.
Wasn't Dumb and Dumber 1995?
94.
Oh,
December. Let's see, 1995 films.
I'm trying to think.
We had what were some of the big ones? 7.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Braveheart.
Yeah.
12 Monkeys.
Haven't seen it.
Heat.
Seen that one time and it was really, really good. I need to watch it.
It's a great movie. I forgot about Goldeneye. Duh, that's my favorite movie that year.
Shit, how did we miss that one?
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, was that 195?
Casino.
That's a good movie.
Usual Suspects. Billy Madison. Leaving Las Vegas.
Shit. There's a lot of great movies in
Dead Man
1995.
Walking, Crimson Tide, Desperado, Get Shorty, Mallrats,
Yeah.
Tommy Boy. Oh yeah, 95 was a damn good year. Who said
Just
that?
wait till next year in 2020 when we can do a 25th anniversary of 1995.
Oh my god, that's gonna be fun. We're talking about Goldeneye every week.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, but yeah, 95 was a. Oh, here we go. The Bridges of Madison County.
Oh, that's the one we have to start it with.
I was gonna suggest Rob Roy starring Liam Neeson, but no, Bridges of
I'm okay
Madison.
with. I will actually be okay with that one because I do like Liam Neeson.
I like Liam Neeson as well. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Are you excited for this weekend, Kendo?
What's this weekend?
John Wick 3.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've been very busy lately. I completely forgot about it. Yeah, I might actually go see it Friday night because I will have the time.
You should. I can't Friday, but I'm gonna go soon.
Well, whenever you do it, we should record a review for it.
We will, and then we'll do a double commentary for the first two.
Works for me.
Boom. Samip Pokaharl says, I just discovered this channel. What's going on? Well, Samip, welcome to World Class Bullshitters. Normally
The
we put
epitome
out
of pop culture.
Yeah, the epitome of pop culture. What you're catching is a live stream, a Good Morning Pop Culture. I used to do this every day for a while, and then I went back to making videos to help grow the channel. And when we do our nightly stream, well, not nightly, excuse me, we do our night stream called the High Council. If we get 1,000 thumbs up, I give a Good Morning Pop Culture in the morning as a thank you for all the listeners who supported the High Council the night before. So here it is. That's what you're catching. You're catching the very end of Good Morning Pop Culture. It's a nice way to hang out with the fans, talk to them, answer questions. Oh, wait, Mortal Kombat came out in 95.
Oh, fight.
Dude, that new one looks pretty cool. Or it sounds pretty cool if they're making it. James Wan.
I hope so because Mortal Kombat Annihilation was terrible.
Understatement.
I actually got into a conversation with a guy at work the other day because he was asking me about Sonic. And he asked me if there was, and I said something. He's like, how come video games never translate over well to movies? And I was like, well, there's a lot that goes into it. I was like, I think and we both agreed that Mortal Kombat, the first one, is probably the best video game movie, and that's not saying much.
Yeah, but I still like it.
Oh, I do too. I mean, I was excited for it when it came out. I had to go see it because I loved Mortal Kombat.
We saw that. So you brought up Dumb and Dumber. We had that on videotape when it was new, and there was an ad for Mortal Kombat. It was like, coming summer 95.
Mm-hmm.
And so I watched Dumb and Dumber. That was the first movie I saw more than 10 times. Like I had seen Aladdin and the Lion King and likes, but dude, I watched Dumb and Dumber all the time. And I would watch the whole tape. You know how sometimes you would fast forward through the opening previews on a videotape?
Mm-hmm.
I always watched the opening previews for Mortal Kombat or for Dumb and Dumber, and Mortal Kombat was on there. And when the movie came out, we went and saw it, and I loved it as a kid. For the longest time, I thought it was rated R, but it's not.
Huh. I did not know that.
Rico156 says, morning, Jeff. I haven't been here in a while. How's life treating you? Life is great. Rico, I don't know how long it's been since you've been keeping up with the channel, but Kendo, we're at an all-time high in terms of channel support.
Yep.
Keep on growing. We have huge success with the live shows. The videos are doing great. Personally, I'm very happy. Everything's going great here. Kendo, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
So see, everything's going great, Rico. But now that you're back, everything's even better. Commander Pluto says, so many great movies came out the year I was born. I take it you were born in 95? Because I was born in 88, and I had movies like, God, I don't remember what came out in 1988. Oh, yeah. Beetlejuice, Coming to America, Die Hard. There we go.
83, Trading Places. Boom.
Oh, 1988 films. Let's see what did come out the year I was born. We had stuff like Big, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Beetlejuice, Fish Called Wanda. So far, I like these movies. Die Hard, obviously. Rain Man, Child's Play, Coming to America, Willow, The Last Temptation of Christ, They Live. There we go. Bull Durham. Nice. The Naked Gun.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
The Blob. The Land Before Time. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Did you hear the all-female remake was a flop?
I'm not surprised.
It's got like a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, that's a shame. Maybe they'll learn something from that.
I doubt it.
I do, too, but I was just wishfully thinking.
Let's see. The Hustle. Where is it at right now? It's got 5 out of 10 on IMDb. And let's see what the box office is, just out of curiosity. The Hustle itself is a con. God damn. A movie called Palms is the worst box office flop of the year. Rotten Tomatoes, 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Nice.
Yeah, ouch.
Sounds like it's doing well.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly how well a Rebel Wilson film should do.
I agree.
She's not funny.
Nope.
Oh, man, it opens to $13.5 million. What a hit.
Yeah, that's not good.
Whatever happened to Anne Hathaway? She used to be okay.
Yeah, she was a Princess Diary person, and then she took her top off for Brokeback Mountain. Not that I've ever watched the movie. I've only seen the stills because I was in love with Anne Hathaway. I was like, oh my God, she's great. Wait, she gets her boobs out in that movie? I don't want to watch that movie, but I will go to Mr. Skin and look up the pictures.
What about Flesh of the Stars from Knocked Up?
That I haven't watched.
No. And Knocked Up, they're going to make a website where they do movie porn stills or movie nudity stills. It's called Flesh of the Stars. And then the woman goes, you mean like Mr. Skin? And they go, what? And they freak out.
Yeah.
By the way, Existent David, you said Halloween 4 came out in 1988. Not only did Halloween 4 come out in 1988, that movie came out the day I was born. So there you go.
Look at that. I don't think any movies came out on the day I was born.
October 21st, 1988. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Dergio Duke, I was born in 1967. You Only Live Twice was 1967. I believe Planet of the Apes was 1967. Was Barbarella 1967? Was that 1969? I'm not sure. 1967 films. I'm just curious now. Yep. You had In the Heat of the Night, Bonnie and Clyde, The Jungle Book, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Cool Hand Luke, The Dirty Dozen. That movie's awesome.
Oh, that's a great movie.
A lot of these movies look stupid, though. Belle de Jour, Ombre, You Only Live Twice, Casino Royale, Camelot, Barefoot in the Park, Dr. Dolittle, Taming of the Shrew, and Like Flint. That's my favorite movie. Oh, and The Producers. There you go. That's a great movie.
There's a good one. That Producers is fantastic, not the remake.
Not Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane.
No, that one was awful. I couldn't even watch it.
McKinney90, thank you very much for your compliment. Good morning. Great High Council last night. It was a great High Council last night. You can't get any better chemistry on YouTube than you can from the High Council. Seriously. We love doing the show a lot. And now, remember, folks, if you love the High Council, you'll essentially get a second episode this Thursday night, 9 p.m. here on World Class Bullshitters, Eastern Standard Time, of course. It'll be myself. It'll be Jeremy. It'll be Ethan. It'll be Nerdrotic. And it'll be Bounding Into Comics, because we're going to be talking about the Bounding Into Comics situation. They were deplatformed. It was serious. We're going to be talking about a lot of the stuff in the Access Media. So when I'm here, Gary, Jeremy, and Ethan are together, we're going to give you guys some great entertainment. And our guest has all kinds of stuff to talk about. So be prepared and do not miss out. McKinney90, I know you're going to be busy drawing your excellent artwork, but take a time, or at least put us on while you draw. That'll be this Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you don't want to miss it. I was born in 79. I know Alien was that year, says John Pegdilio. Also, The Warriors. That was a great movie.
Yes, it is.
Isn't 48 Hours 1979?
No,
that's 1981.
I was going to say it had to be after Eddie Murphy was on Saturday Night Live, which was 19.
And it also has to be after The Warriors, because Walter Hill directed both movies. So
yeah.
So, is there anything else we should cover this morning, folks? Let us know in the chat before we close this out. This has been a nice, healthy, Good Morning Pop Culture. And as I said, it's going to go off this channel. It's going to be archived on the Good Morning Pop Culture channel forever. So make sure that you guys check that out. And if you listen to us on Podbean or iTunes, Good Morning Pop Culture also goes to live there, so you can stream us in your car and not have to have your screen on or anything like that. Let's see. N7 Ryan, don't worry. Cecil will not be on our Bounding Into Comics stream. He left before I could invite him on, so it'll just be us. We won't get into Game of Thrones arguments. Trust me. All out of Bubblegum says I was at work and I missed most of the show. Well, you can always catch us on the replays. You can always catch us. And the High Council never goes away, because that is everyone's show. So We love the High Council. Got to keep it rolling. Yes, Disney did buy the rest of Hulu Secret Rebel. I got a video I'm going to be making soon. I got a video I need to finish the pictures for. The audio's done. You know, should I throw that up on Patreon early for everybody right now, Kendo?
Yes.
You know, I'll do that right now while we're talking. So, folks, if you're a $5 and up a month patron, you're about to get the audio for the next video. It's just a little bonus as a thank you, guys, for, supporting the channel above and beyond the Call of Duty in terms of, just watching us. So let's see, audio, and boom, I'm uploading it right now. So there will be a full video for everyone tomorrow because I want to get it done. I don't want to sit on it forever, but I thought you guys can have early access to it and you can tell me what you think. So Kendo and I are going to go in a moment. We are going to record, this week's podcast, since this Thursday night will be me and the other guys from the High Council, and we'll be discussing the Bounding into Comics situation. So there will be a World Class Bullshitters episode. It's going to be a little different, but we're going to get ready to call Nick, and we're going to go have some fun there. So I guess that's it.
Yep, sounds like it.
All right, folks. Well, as always, folks, thank you for watching. And as always, be excellent to each other.